And we are live. We need an intro or something we can start playing.
Definitely.
All right. Am I all set up in the back? I am.
Where are we all at? Let me see here.
I just got an email that we just went live.
All right, you ready?
Got one. Where are we starting?
We're starting with a quick unboxing. You can start first, and then I'll go next. Or you start first. I'll go next.
I was looking forward to this one. This is gonna be a single one. Now, Angel, what kind of comic covers do I like?
You like foils?
Fucking love
and
foil.
Anything that looks like a '90s cover.
Love foil so much, and this one is going to involve foil. Oh man, he taped the shit out of this. Oh wait, no, he didn't. It's not bad. Oh no, he did tape it over there too. It's okay. It's just the outside of the box, so.
And by the way, I got to raise the shipping, the 1-star shipping I gave you. I got to raise it to 5. It was an awesome job.
You see what I meant about stacking all those Gemini boxes in there?
Yeah, it was yeah.
Well, this will work out great. Ooh, we got some freebies. Oh yeah, I won a giveaway when I bought this too. I'll show that in a sec. So I'm gonna start with there is a hint for what I'm opening around me right now. Save that bubble wrap.
Always recycle.
Boom, black foil.
Nice. Nice.
And I said my hint is, hold on, wait, this way. I've got the copper and the silver right there. I've actually got the gold local comic shop day getting slabbed right now. There's the black. So the only one I have left is the red foil.
Is that hard to find, or is it kind of out there?
It's kind of out there, but it's not like really, really out there.
Hey, what's up, Gabe? Thanks for joining us from YouTube.
And oh, it does say where he's from, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's handy. I would not have noticed that if you didn't point that out. Gabe Vaccaro is one of the guys I know back in Ohio. He's the one that Jay always trades his comic books to fix his car.
Okay. There's worse ways to get paid. Comic books is pretty good.
Jay's working, so he's not going to be able to catch it. But this is what I won on the giveaway when I bought it too. Nice.
That's the Silver Surfer Black or Rebirth?
Rebirth. It's a 1 in 50, and is who did the cover? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look that up. That's gonna bug me.
All right.
But I'm so excited. God, I'm so excited about that.
It's a beautiful cover, man.
And to go with my collection.
Yeah, and it highlights some really cool things, right? Where we're able to, or collecting. It's not just collecting comics. Just means hey, you're going to have a whole bunch of series. But if you have one foil cover or one thing, you want to be able to try to get almost all the different variants for that done to kind of match it up.
Gabe said he's a fan of the barter system.
Yes, sir.
Gabe was one of the guys who bought a stack of books from the Moon Knight sale we did.
Okay. All right. So I don't have, I do have an unboxing, so I'm going to do something really, but I went to a local comic book shop today. They were doing a Father's Day Fest. So they had different vendors out there, and one of the vendors helped me out on my Tomb of Dracula run. So I'm 2 more issues close.
Man, you've picked up like 10 or 15 of those recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. So this is issue number 28 and issue number 34. They're just hard to come by, just because a lot of people are out there hunting them, and just it's old horror books, so it's not something that was maintained in great condition. But now I am 15 away from the run.
Nice.
But the 15 includes 1 through 11.
I
And
was
number
gonna say,
one
you had
and
10.
number 10 are the big books. So
I thought you had 10.
no. I didn't have 10. I don't have 10. It was a couple times where I thought about pulling the trigger on it and just talked myself out of it. And then the last book or the other book that I picked up at the thing today is Bitter Root. There we go. Yeah, Tomb of Dracula it's awesome. It's it's great 70s horror. And if you're specking on horror, the MCU has a horror special coming out. And then obviously if you're going to have Blade, you got to have vampires, and if you have vampires, you got to have Dracula. So it's kind of an easy thing to pick up. And then Bitterroot, which is a story I believe in the 1920s, 30s, a family out of Harlem of monster hunters. So this is issue number 1. It's already been optioned.
I was gonna say it's been optioned, right?
Yeah, it's been optioned. So hopefully something comes of it soon. But it's a great book, great condition. And then the one single mail call I have is my CBCS book. I should have prepped it more before I got it here. Oh my gosh, they did a great job of taking it. If you got a book, Randy, you might want to get ahead.
Well, I'm gonna show you. How I said there were some freebies in the Comic Vault Live one.
Yeah.
One is an unopened pack of Wildstorm cards.
Oh, nice.
And then this is perfect because what we were just talking about. I've got a pin, and it says Foil Fever. And that is just so perfect.
That's so on message with you, man.
Oh man, I thought I'm gonna have to wear this. I think I'm gonna attach it to my my comic book backpack that I take when I go out hunting. I'll start being one of those. I look like the kids with the pins all over their backpack, and everyone will be like, "Why is that old man trying to dress like us?"
Almost. It's like a curse.
I'm trying to get this so you can read it good. There we go. Foil Fever. It's beautiful. While you're doing that, I'm going to show off a couple books. I've only got like one set left of this to sell for Grimm number 2, but this is the foil cover B, and there's so much going on this. I love everything about Grimm. The cover's really got me first, but she's a Reaper, and she's just seeing everybody like they're dead while carrying her giant light ship. And this one I'm not selling. I'm keeping the one per store and slabbing it.
That is a beautiful copy, man. That's a beautiful book. Beautiful cover.
I think number 3, the FOC cover, is a In-Hyuk Lee.
Man, I love his work, man.
And he's got these the same color themes going on it too. So I think I ordered probably at least 4 of those for the shop.
Finally. God dang. All right. That's going to get replaced anyway. So, sent this off. Finally got it back.
Ooh, nice.
Secret variant of Department of Truth, 9/8, white pages, CBCS, witness signature. For those of you guys don't know, CBCS offers verified signature. So if you have a book that was signed and there was not somebody there to witness it, CBCS through Beckett's signature authentication verifies the signature that it's authentic, and then instead of witnessed, it will say verified signature there for you. But this is the secret variant, and it's signed by James Tynion the fourth, who is just killing it right now in the horror space and independent space. Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Closet, Whatnot exclusive.
That's right.
You got a bunch to sell because almost everybody's sold out because they sell like 3 times a week, and I sell like once every 2 weeks. So I've still got like 30 of them.
Yeah. So if you want them, come get them, and then it's signed by the artist right there. And I like this type of signature where it looks like it's part of You know, like if the artist signed it anyway.
Right.
Simmons, JTC does something very similar, but he does it really small, so not to disturb the art and disturb the cover. So it was signed by both of them. But this was sent off almost a year ago, and finally, by the time, if there's one complaint I have about CBCS's signature series or their signature program, is that it is not done privately. Like they don't have the creators come to their headquarters.
Yeah,
like,
not the in-house.
Yeah, it's not in-house. So it takes a little bit of time. But I'm happy to have this back. And
hey, Gabe, if you got some signed that you want to send off, I've actually got a stack that I'm doing for Verified fairly soon. Not like really soon, but like within the next couple months. And they're all going to our regular clean and presser and all that. So if you want, let me know. I think we look at was about 40 or 50 because we do express.
Yep.
And the signature verification is I'll hit you up later and go over the prices with you because I know it's 25 per signature.
Well, the first one, it's 25 for the first one, $5 each additional signature on there. Unless they change the price.
You know, it was like your initial grading fee, and then it's 25 per signature, so it adds up quick.
Ugh. All right, we'll double check. Gabe, just hit up Randy, and he'll hook you up. We'll double check.
Because on his hey Davis, are you in here? Because I know you said you had one that you wanted to send out too. Oh, so it is comics and whiskey. So I've been drinking. I found this. There he is, Davis. It's called Puncher's Chance, and it is delicious. I highly recommend it.
What's up, Davis?
Bottle. It looks like a foil comic cover.
Hey, Randy, you did this on purpose. So Randy showed his bottle. So now I got to show mine. So this is my bottle.
Hey.
There we go. Hey.
101.
So surprisingly, not surprising, this is a great pour whiskey. So anybody who tells you that a bottle of whiskey a great bottle of bourbon costs over $100, they're lying to you. Wild Turkey 101. Great. It's a great daily sipper. And then the last set of books before we get into our heated topic, and hopefully those of you guys who are watching can join in, is the books I plan on taking to Heroes Con next week. Definitely. Hey, Davis, get with Randy or Jamie. I call him Randy, but get with Jamie, and he'll be able to hook you up and kind of explain how that goes. But it's a great program. It's one of many reasons why I prefer CBCS as a collector, because they offer so many things for the collectors. They're super collector friendly, and they just kind of simplify it. Sometimes to the detriment.
There's so many options for us to submit too, like raw grading.
Yeah, raw grading is awesome. If you have a
screen, there's no 25 minimum.
Yep, it's awesome. It's just they are very collector friendly or hobby friendly, but CGC started it, so it's got the name recognition and the communities behind it. And then these are the X-Men #1, the highest selling, right? I think highest gross or something like that. I got to double check.
I think it was the highest selling because there was like 8 million.
Yes.
But the variants helped.
Yeah. So that's variant A, variant B, C, and then a classic cover D. And they all connect to do a play on the X-Men 1 cover.
Yep.
An homage to the X-Men 1 cover. But it's a great cover done by Jim Lee and Scott Williams. Alex St. Clair did not color this one. But Scott Williams and Jim Lee did the cover and the interior art, and Chris Claremont wrote it. So all 4 of these hopefully will get signed at Heroes Con.
Nice.
This weekend by Chris Claremont. So
I've got
you got to enjoy it.
The Wolverine Cyclops one.
Yeah.
And it's ready to get shipped back to me. It's signed by, I got verified by Stan Lee. And then witnessed by Jim Lee and Scott Williams.
Nice.
Triple signed on that thing. One of them Stan Lee. So I'm looking forward to getting that back. I don't know if it was a 9.8 contender. To be honest, it didn't matter to me. It was signed by
Yeah.
Stan Lee. So
Yeah, I have the gatefold cover in there, but this it doesn't for me, it doesn't work as much in a slab as these four would, because you can just line them up
Mhm.
and then all four.
Yeah, they look great. And if you put
Yeah.
them on a wall next to each other or something,
Yeah, these will.
you might need to get a custom frame for that one.
Yeah, and then the only other time they will get cracked is the next time CGC offers a Jim Lee and Scott Williams signing.
Yeah,
Get cracked, and then
that'd be a dope set.
yeah, these are going to get CGC is going to be there. They're going to have a facilitator there, so they're going to witness the signature. So they'll get signature series labels on there. So that's great.
See Gabe's comment there.
Yeah, and an Iron Fist 6. You know, Chris Claremont is a little polarizing in some ways, but he is an awesome guy. I think the biggest thing that he does, or he's kind of not anti-collector, but he wants to ensure that everybody enjoys comics for what they were meant to be, which is read, consumed, and stuff, and not necessarily, bought, put in a bag, put away type of stuff. But yeah, Chris Claremont's
Wait,
good.
you can read these things?
Huh?
You can read these things?
Yeah. I just picked up his Dark Phoenix run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I put it on layaway, but but it was all high grade, so hopefully pick them up
next soon. If you reminded me of something. Next week we're going to be doing another stream. It'll probably be Saturday also. Is today Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
Angel's going to Heroes Con, so he's going to come back with his reactions from that. We're going to have some more unboxing, including a very big book that we recently bought.
Yes.
So we're going to save that one for the stream. And those of you that know, hush. Let us surprise them.
Yo, who's the Facebook user?
Hey, whoever the Facebook user was, if you can click that StreamYard link there, it'll let us see your name on here. Because right now in the chat, actually, I can put it up here. It just says Facebook user.
Yeah. Is that Elvis?
If you click the thing, it'll let you. It'll let us see your name.
Yeah, that might be Elvis.
So for those of you who know, we started using StreamYard so we can. Oh, it's Rocky. There you go. We started using StreamYard so we can stream. We're streaming on YouTube and Facebook right now.
So, you want to start off on our topic?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I will have one more big box to unbox, but I'm going to hold off on that for a minute.
Okay, so if you guys saw part of our topic is if you guys follow any comic content on YouTube or even some articles, there are a lot of talk about the crash, right? That comic book prices are crashing and stuff like that.
I see most of what I see about crashing is really like the Facebook groups and stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of toxicity, you know that.
Yeah.
I do know some of the big YouTubers have done videos on this recently, like I think Journos and Bronze Age Nerd, and I think Comic Tom might have done one. I haven't watched them, but usually when they're doing it, I don't know what they hit, but they're not really saying that it's crashing.
Right.
They're talking about books going down, but I've seen so many comments where in these groups, so I don't even know why these people are in these groups, because they seem to hate comic books. Like all they do is complain about them, and they're talking about how everything's crashing, and that's what we're going to talk about. I know you had some good examples there.
Yeah. So as Randy kind of previewed and talked about, we don't necessarily see it as crashing. We see it that each book hits a peak, right? Or there's a peak, and then it starts to tailor off. So one of the examples I have here is, and we're going to talk about it's Morbin time, right? It's the first appearance of Michael Morbius in comic books. So he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #1. So I could talk about 101. I'm going to talk about the 9.8, and then I'm going to put something that's a little bit more attainable for most people and kind of put it in the grade range that they're looking. So in 2020, if you bought Amazing Spider-Man number 101, there was one sale. This according to GP Analysis. Yep, is exactly right, Gabe. There's always ups and downs. If you go to GP Analysis, it says that in 2020, the one sale was for $9,200. That average, so that was the average sale because it was only one sale during 2020. In 2021, 4 total books sold, and that average price of a 9.8 went up to $19,000. The 90-day average. So in the last 90 days, one other, it is one book has sold so far in the last 90 days, and that book sold for $26,000. So if you were the person who bought it in 2020, to see that book sell for $26,000, that is almost a 3 times increase in your investment, being able to sell it for around that price.
What was the 2020 price again?
$9,200.
So 9,200 to 26,000.
Yeah, in 2 years, right? And now there's hype, right? But now we're on the tail end of the Morbius flop of the movie, which usually includes a drop in price for books, right? Mm-hmm. The more attainable one, and one kind of shows that what we're seeing is more a price correction or previous pricing is post spike is the 9.0. So the 9.0 had 24 sales in 2020. It sold for an average price of $1,200. In 2021, that average price almost doubled to $2,300 for almost virtually the same number of sales, 25 versus the 24 in 2020, 25 in 2021, 24 in 2020. So in the last 90 days, we've had 8 sales. The average price has been $2,100. So still an increase versus if you would have bought one around average price in 2020. So it's almost double still. And then last sale was for the same grade. Last month in May was for $1,400. So
that sounds like an outlier.
Yeah, it probably is an outlier. Let me double check. So as we're looking,
because the average was about 19 for the 90-day, right?
Yeah, the average was 2,100.
Oh, 21. Okay.
Yeah, so 1,455, definitely an outlier.
I mean, even from the spike, it's only down like a very small amount.
Yeah, it's not down a lot. And then if you look at another infamous book, and one that I actually have in my collection too. I actually have 2 copies in my collection, which is Amazing Spider-Man 361.
I have 3.
The first appearance of Carnage. And it's very similar, the same thing. I have a 9.6 newsstand, so I'll use that one as an example. So that one, and there were 91 sales in 2020. The average price was $251. In 2021, there were over 300 books sold, 300 transactions, 300 sales of that book, and that average price went to $420. So an increase of almost 50%, right? So almost double the money of what it went in. So triple the sales, and almost double the average price. And now you get the last 90 days. The last 90 days, you're about half of the sales that were in 2020. The average price is $280 in the last 90 days. And the last sale was in this month, June, for $336. So definitely not necessarily, like Randy and I talk about, it's not necessarily a crash, but definitely a price correction to either pre-2021 or pre-movie hype, right? Because we always knew that there was a Morbius movie coming, but as everything goes with a movie or something like that, interest spikes as it leads up, and then obviously wanes as after the movie, and depending on how it goes. I got to find the Eternals because that's another good example of there, but you're seeing what I would call a price correction, not necessarily a crash, right?
So when I
So
see a lot of the videos, like we were saying, I think it's a little disingenuous when they talk about it because they will always compare the peak during peak hype, peak sales, and then they'll be like, "What is it doing now?" And of course, it's come down some. It always comes down after that movie hype comes off. Everybody knows this, but then they'll look at those two and be like, "Look how much it's fallen. This was a
yeah,
bad buy," and
and
be
then
like, "Okay, if you are one of the 7 people who bought it at peak movie hype, it was a bad buy. But for the rest of us who have had it sitting in our collection for a couple years, these books are still going up.
yeah,
They're up. They are not crashing. They are up. Like I
and
just sent my new Avengers 7 to get slabbed because I'm surprised how well it's holding value. But I'm seeing people in Facebook groups saying that it crashed because if you haven't seen that, it's been a long time now. I'm going to give a Doctor Strange spoiler. So
it'll
if
be
you
on
have,
Disney Plus in 4 days.
you can mute it for about 15 seconds starting now. Okay? Illuminati showed up in there and Scarlet Witch fucking wrecked them. So everyone is like, oh, it's funny because now that book's crashing because they're all dead. The book is not crashing. Like, I can't believe. Hey, Jay, welcome. I
Nice.
cannot
What's up, Jay?
believe
Welcome.
people think that book is crashing. It's still selling for almost $200 at a 9.8.
Yep. And so it's in the, especially in the groups. If you're a member of those groups, they get really toxic and they get really they can get really toxic. But if it all depends on when you jump into the hobby or when you invest in a book, right? And if you invest in a book, so I got an example here. This book right here.
Demolished. It's a beautiful book. You should send that.
It is. It's going. It's going. Oh man. So this is
You gotta turn
Captain
the glare,
Carter.
man. There you go.
Captain Carter. Captain
When you get
Carter
the
number
glare,
one.
you gotta be like, there it is.
There we go.
That's the
So this is
angle.
Captain Carter number one, the 1 in 25, the animation variant. So this is how she appeared. Is actually a still of her on the What If cartoon. But this is the first appearance of Captain Carter. Now that's another argument for another day.
Ooh,
But
we should do a video on that.
this is the first appearance of Captain Carter. But this book, due to the Multiverse of Madness trailer, went through the roof. And then after Scarlet Witch wrecked them, everybody expected this to crash, but this book is still holding its value at around the 175, 150 to, we'll say 125 to 175 raw. And then, yeah. And then
people call that a crash, dude.
Right. And this book would have cost you, if you bought it at ratio, $25, $50, I think is what it was going for. At its peak before the spike, it was selling for about $50, so double ratio. So if you bought it at $25 to $50 and you're able to sell it for $125, that's not a crash. That's a good one. Hey, Jay, if you have Disney Plus, it'll be on Disney Plus in 4 days. June 22nd, I think, is what it said. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but it's supposed to be this month.
It is. I know it's this month. I just don't remember which day.
So obviously the discussion is a lot more nuanced, but the hobby isn't crashing. You see collector hobbies. I think the prices that you saw in 2020 because of the pandemic, people were just looking for anything. There was an influx of cash. They were just looking for anything to kind of occupy their time, so they rekindle some stuff. And collections in 2021 carried that same energy, and then you have the movie hype, like shows, and now you're seeing a correction again, kind of like a coming back to pre-COVID, and now you're seeing what would be the ebbs and flows of the market when it comes to, especially with Marvel books, because they live and die off of movie hype, right?
Yep.
Movie spec.
Speaking of which, I'll be selling at least one of these Marvel Now .1s, first Kamala Khan, probably this week.
What do you got there? Or what?
I got a 9.4 CGC and a 9.6 CBCS.
Oh, man, I was so disappointed when I got my 9.0. I was like, you dirt.
Is it repressable, or did you already send it to Jim?
No. It deserved the grade that it got. It definitely deserved the grade that it got. When I saw it, I looked at it. Looked really good, and I thought, okay, here we go. And then away it went, and it was like, oh, damn.
I'm gonna start cutting my Ultimate Comics box.
But yeah, so like from our perspective, books aren't crashing. Just buy them at the right price.
Also, if a book gets super hot for movie hype, don't buy it.
Right.
Just wait. Ooh, that's a good book.
That's a good book.
I don't have that book.
Nice.
I've actually been hunting it for years, but I can't find the right book at the right price.
Yeah, it was. I'm still hunting Strange Tales 169 at a great price, in the condition that I want. The first appearance of Brother Voodoo, and then.
Oh, this is a nice box they packed this in.
Who said that?
Ultimate Comics.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they do an awesome job, man.
If you guys don't follow Ultimate Comics on Facebook, they do some great live sales. 3 times a week?
Twice.
I thought it was Tuesday.
No, they'll do a special
Tuesday
show.
And Friday?
Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday?
Yeah.
But we both bought a lot from them. That's actually local to where Angel is right now too, I think. Yeah. And Angel's bought 3 big collections from them.
Well, runs, but yeah, 3 big runs.
Runs, not collections.
I bought I just bought the last run I bought was the Frank Miller Daredevil run. I bought that one from them.
The whole run, all of Frank Miller.
All of Frank Miller. The one previous to that was the whole Shang-Chi run. So special Marvel Edition 15, his first appearance all the way through the end of Master of Kung Fu. I think that was issue 170 something.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
And then this last one I just bought from them, all on layaway too. They offer a great layaway program.
Yes, actually, I got my She-Hulk 1 9.2 from them on layaway.
Yeah, and the last one I bought is the Chris Claremont Dark Phoenix run. So when I receive that one, after I pay it off, I'll bring it in and show everybody.
All right, you ready for my unboxing?
I am.
All right, I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna let you know that a few of these that I got are that's a free one I got. I want to give away on that on Ultimate Comics too. A lot of these books are actually for the wife. Shauna is a big fan of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and primarily not just Margot Robbie playing it in the movies, but the animated series on HBO. If you guys have not seen that, highly recommend it. It is fantastic. The Harley Quinn animated series. So because of some of the movies and then that, she is a huge fan of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, and she got into collecting. It started with prints that I was buying from Clan McDonald, because they'll have a lot of prints and they're usually like $10 to $20, and I'll show it to her and she really likes it and she wants it, so she gets it to put up on her wall in her craft room, and then started showing her some comic covers, because obviously she likes the art if she's buying the prints,
Right.
So I show her some prints or some comics and she'd be like, I want that now. So I got my wife into collecting comics because she likes the art of the characters she loves. So she's got her own short box in the bedroom full of comics, and it's all because of the art, because she loves it.
Now I'll have to get Fondrea a short box. Thanks, Randy.
All right, those will send to the side because those are going to be the last one of the show.
Yeah, Fondrea does that. Hey, Gabe, so to your comment to the Kung Fu books, I love them too. It's some of the first books I read were that. I'm trying to, after I complete my Tomb of Dracula, I'm going to go after trying to get an Iron Fist.
What kind of Scotch tape did they use?
Complete an Iron Fist run and start that one. So start with Marvel Premiere and his time in there, and then the Iron Fist book, and then the Power Man and Iron Fist. So I'm going to try to get that one done. Yeah, it does help with artwork's killer, you know, because that's it really is what draws you into a book or has you pick up a book if you've never picked one up before.
I'm gonna get some of these because you already know I buy a lot of books because of cover, and
Yep.
like I don't even read them. I'm like, that cover's fucking dope. I want it.
Yep.
And one example is the new Poison Ivy series that came out, the 1 in 50. I need
Oh
that.
yeah,
book.
the Frank Cho cover.
Yeah, that Frank Cho. So, and that's actually what, God, they got post-it notes of my name on every book. So the new Poison Ivy series, unfortunately, we are not currently able to order DC. We're still working on that.
Yeah, we still are. Yeah.
So we got to buy from other people, but got the Poison Ivy.
Yeah, those covers
number one books. That's our germ, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and they're all fantastic covers. They really are. And then I did pick up a stack of the True Believer Infinity Gauntlets from them. Like I bought all they had left. There was 4 of them. Those are getting added to the store stock.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those True Believers are great books to have.
Yeah, like those and facsimiles, there's a big market for them because people want that original book, but not the original book because it's priced out. So people don't mind paying the $10 for those. What is her name? Spider Smasher?
Spider Smasher, also known as Billy Morales.
Spoiler alert. 1 in 10 design variant. I'm a huge Miles fan. I have pretty much every Miles book there is. You know this.
Yep.
If you didn't know, I love Grimm. And I don't know how we missed the second print for this because I buy every variant for a book that I'm a completionist. I need them all. So we missed the second print. So I had none to sell. I didn't even have one for myself. And fucking missed it. So I had to get one from them, but they gave me a good deal on it. This thing's selling for like $75 on eBay. And I got it from them for 30.
Hey Gabe, so definitely if you want it clean and pressed, so Randy and I, we have like 2 or 3 pressers that we usually use, but there's one that we use the most. If you want to just get with Randy and he'll be able to do that. I would tell you, for that book, I got mine graded. I had 0 expectation. I thought it was coming back like a 7.5, an 8.0. What's up, Miss Marvel? And it came back
1 in 25.
A 9.0, and it's a crack and press candidate. And and to your previous comment that Deceased in Gotham, yes, man, that Nightmare on Elm Street homage, where it's the Batman, right? I think it's the Batman leaning over Poison Ivy as she's laying in bed. Oh my gosh,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's awesome. And give me 1 second. I'll be right back, Rain. Hold on.
All right, so this one I'm pretty excited about. And this is a book that a lot of people might not know. But I picked up my first omnibus. I've been collecting for over 30 years. I have over 10,000 comic books. I have 0 omnibuses. This is my first one. Oh, 65, which is a great fucking deal. The cover price on this is $100. So I got The Authority.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Warren Ellis Brian Hitch run omnibus, $100 book for $65. I'm so fucking excited about this. If you have never read the Warren Ellis Brian Hitch Authority run, it is must read for any comic fan. It is so fucking good. Like, God, it's so good. And then my last one here. I have another hint for this. pretty excited about this. How do these look? Oh, these look really good. Oh, Angel, we might I might have scored on this, dude.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I gotta get these angles right. There we go. And wait, this way. There we go.
Nice.
And what would I get these for? Like $150 or something stupid?
Yeah. Yeah.
$225. It was cheap. It was really cheap. But it's the first and second print. I've got a 9.6 right there that I got $180 from them for a 9.6, and then a week later they're selling it for $450.
Yeah.
Well, you can get good deals from those guys.
Definitely. All right. Hey, Elvis, I'm gonna make sure that Grimm is.
Elvis, I'm not positive. You mean this one?
Yeah.
I have to double check. It says, oh, this says reveal variant. Maybe this is the FOC.
Yeah. Still a nice cover. Still a nice cover.
It is. I love the Grimm cover so much. But yeah, these were my two big boys. Was the 2 Darth Vader 3s and my Authority Omnibus, which God,
that is
so dope.
That is the FOC reveal variant by Stephanie Hans.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, so Gabe, this is one of my favorite Poison Ivy covers. The first appearance of Hush.
Nice.
And,
oh, is that what you had to go get?
Yeah, Kim Lee, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair's triple sign right there.
With this giant book.
And I love it. It got Catwoman there. You have Poison Ivy. You got Batman. It's
a great cover.
Such a great cover.
Expensive book too.
And then there's the other bondage type one where Catwoman is like tied up in Poison Ivy stuff. I got to find that one and get that one. But I love.
Oh,
this one is awesome. And I'll send you the photo of the one of the deceased cover because it is. I might have to hunt that one down.
Yeah, well, I'm all out of books, man.
Well, I'm not out of books, but it's definitely not an unboxing. I'm looking forward to Heroes Con. There's a couple of the vendors that'll be there. The vendor that we got our big book from, he'll be there as well. I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm excited. It's going to probably be the biggest con I've been to since NYCC in a while ago.
I got Comic Tom. You still got Comic Tom going?
I still do. Yes.
Look at that. Invincible Omni-Man foil.
Get the fuck out of here.
$1,200.
So look, man, anybody who talks mess about modern books, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a modern book is a great investment. We don't know, right? Because it's today. If you look at Ultimate Fallout 4, which is probably the modern grail for many people, when did that release? 2011, 2012. Hey, Gabe, definitely. Even the small ones are awesome. Cons are great.
Even if you don't buy anything, just going around and seeing everything.
It's awesome. And Heroes Con is one of the oldest, and if not one of the biggest. So the last big con I went to was NYCC, and that was like in 2015 or something like that. But modern books, I think why a lot of collectors hate it is because one, the market is volatile, right?
Well, there goes the giveaway.
I better win it. I better win it. I better win it.
Nope.
Ah, damn. That sucks. Vader the Traitor. All right.
We were in a giveaway on Whatnot. We had it going on our phones to see if we won while the stream is going.
and then but modern books are if you catch the right one, you catch lightning in the bottle, and next thing you know, you have something there that's up there. And a lot of the older collectors or people who swear by bronze and silver don't like to see that, because there are a lot of bronze and silver books that just have not caught the fire that some of these modern books has. And really the reason they do that is, great example is Black Panther #3 that just released this year. They released a new character, say he's going to be a new hero for Wakanda, and people are drawing or drew parallels between him and Miles Morales, right?
Yep.
So they don't want to miss that boat. And so you had the 1 in 25 almost immediately.
It's like $300.
9.8. Yeah, Raw was selling for 300, and in the 9.8 was selling for 1,000, and it's still in that price range. So,
and we did not get one.
No, we did. we missed the boat on that. But
we got the regular #3.
Yeah, we got the regular #3, and then the first cover appearance. But so modern books, they have their place, and I think really for that one is scarcity, and not only scarcity but also potential, right? People look in potential, because we both went kind of heavy on getting the first appearance of Blade's daughter, which is a long spec.
Yeah.
But that was a free comic book day book. But there is a 1 in 1,000, right, Randy? Was it 1
in 1,000?
Yeah, because free comic book day books are not free for retailers. Retailers have to buy them. And so a retailer, Ultimate Comics, ordered a lot. They have 3 stores. They ordered a lot. They had 2 1 in 1,000s. And those right now, if you slab it, get it graded, you keep it. And that one's a long-term hold. But if Blade's daughter ever shows up, that's her first appearance. And then,
and there's not a lot of those books, because how many people ordered 1,000 free comic book day books?
Yeah. So modern books.
It wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't know it was a first appearance until it was well after FOC, right?
You're right. And Marvel announced it like super slick in a Facebook post saying, "Hey, don't forget to go to your free comic book day and support."
Yes, it is.
Elvis doesn't have that one.
I got a great deal on that. I can't remember. I think it was, what I pay on that, about 300, and it's a 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
The case is got a crack in it, so I'll probably have to do a reholder. But I got it from Heatseeker Comics, the one who set up our exclusive here. And because of the crack, instead of him reholdering it and selling it at FMV, he sold it to me for about $300.
That's a great deal. Oh shit!
Yeah, 4 or 5, right? Yeah, can't really see it from there, can you?
I got to get my wall done. It's going to be right here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right there.
Angel just moved there, so that's why he's not set up yet.
Yeah, not set up. It's definitely going to be out of frame, or I might do like a rolling wall. Have it there and stuff. Elvis, next time you're going to have to be on the stream with us, bud.
Yeah, get in here, get us talking. We need whiskey though.
But yeah, so hold on, let me send you this cover. I told you I was going to send it to you so I can see your live reaction as you see it.
Oh, you want me to look at it while on?
Yeah. Sent. Well, I misspoke, Elvis.
That's a dope fucking cover. I can't believe I've never seen that.
You do have a copy. Whoop-de-whoop. Hey,
it's Jasper. Jasper's jelly.
Yeah, so
I age fucking fantastic.
I wouldn't say that. Because I have pictures. No, I have to see if I can find picture of us when we were in Iraq together.
And without this beard, I look pretty much the exact same. It's funny because every time I get a new ID, military ID, they look at it, and I've heard this like 3 times. They look at it and go, "It looks the exact same as your last one." I'm like, I know. I stopped. I've looked like this since I was 22, So I've looked like I'm 40 something since I was 22, and then I just stopped. Then like I hit it and then just stopped. Other than like I got all the gray and white in my beard now.
Oh man, that's you know how everybody figures, hey, I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna grow this beard out, this this luscious beard out, and because I shaved my face for 20 plus years, my beard is completely fucking white. So I am not growing it out. So I'm stuck shaving.
I'll still do it. Like I dig it.
Oh no. Like
no, I'm not. So I shaved my neck. I'm not doing the full like ZZ Top.
Yeah,
like my dad did when he retired.
I'm not. I don't think I'm going to do the ZZ Top because I'll look more like a caricature from the 1970s. You know, the old Kung Fu theater. So, but it is white. It is white. I joke around that I look like a Pacific Islander Santa Claus, you know. So he's like,
no, you can play the Kung Fu master, man. You got a long white beard, and you always have to take it and flip it and go.
Hey, own it, Jasper, own it. I can't bring myself to dye it. I just can't do it.
No, I'm good. I like the salt and pepper.
Man, mine's all salt. And then I just noticed, right? I used to cut my hair short down, right? It's fucking all this gray right here. Goddamn.
Yeah, me. Oh wait, no, I don't.
Forget.
There's nothing there.
Oh, so let me tell you about this book. I bought this book, right? And took it to the guy who's going to press it for me, and he found something. And I'm upset that I didn't catch it, but two, I'm upset that it wasn't necessarily disclosed. And if you can't see it, there is a piece of daggone tape. Right.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
I love you too, Jasper. I miss you, man.
And so this one's going to go to our boy to see if
he talks to him about that. Can he do that?
Yeah, he's done it before. But I'm going to send him a picture because I'm looking at it now, and it looks like somebody tried to peel some of it, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't look as glossy in one area as it does the other.
Oof. You can probably still get a high grade out of it, though.
Yeah.
You can remove it, even if there's a little damage. Yeah. You're still looking at least a 9.2, 9.4.
But it's still frustrating, man. And so now, lesson learned. Now I got to ask the question: What's the back cover look like? Is there any tape?
Yeah, because it's also got that black, and that's a Rob Liefeld, isn't it?
No, John Byrne.
Is it?
Yeah.
The back cover.
Yeah, John Byrne.
He did. Oh, I believe you. I thought it was someone obscure that did that for some reason.
No, it was John Byrne, man. That was John Byrne, buddy. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's not Liefeld. He has
no because of the feet's there. I was thinking it was one of the Image guys. Like, it's definitely not McFarlane, but
no, it's John Byrne. It's Liefeld. If you see feet and ankles, it's not Liefeld. If you see a decent proportions, it's not Liefeld. Can't stand that guy.
I've still got my Deadpool, my New Mutants 98s coming back with his signature. Then I'll be done with them.
Listen, man, I look. I'm gonna be that angry guy behind the keyboard talking crap about a guy who contributed to the hobby that I love.
But man, a huge amount.
A huge amount. You got to give him credit there. You got to give him credit with that. And he's brought a lot of people along. He's done a lot of things. Done a lot of dickish things, like not wanting to give credit to writers and stuff like that.
I don't know, Gabe. Go check out his fucking Twitter, man. He's kind of douchey.
Oh, he is. Remember when we watched him on his, man, wasn't it a little while ago? He was kind of talking about he did his Twitter and he was going off on Fabian Nicieza.
Oh yeah, they did the 30th anniversary of Deadpool, and there are people like they were like giving interviews or something like that, and they're just talking about it and all that. And he was just like live tweeting the whole thing, saying none of these people had shit to do with Deadpool. It was all him. Like Fabian, who was one of the writers of New Mutants, he was just like he didn't do anything. It was all me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey Jasper, I want to show you this. You'll appreciate this. Is
That's Stray Dogs, right?
I don't know about Key, but yeah. So this is Stray Dogs. It was it Comic Tom exclusive?
I think it was a Comic Tom exclusive. Hey Elvis, I don't have any. Well, I mean, unless you.
Oh no, it's an FOC incentive cover.
Unless it was All Star Superman, if you want to call, is it All Star Superman? And I got the Long Halloween. So the Long Halloween is a key.
Oh, he did do Long Halloween, didn't he?
He did.
So Jasper, Stray Dogs is this really, really fucking good book. It's basically about a serial killer, but it's from the perspective of the dogs. Because what he does is he'll kill people and they'll take their dog. So he's got like a stable of dogs at his house. And it's drawn by Fleeks.
Yep.
Who does My Little Pony. So it's this really dark story drawn in the style of like this cartoony style.
Yeah. And it throws you off because it is dark. That story is dark.
But
it's a different story, Jasper. That's an homage cover that they have.
Yeah, so this just has Ash in it. Like Ash has no. Yeah, Jay, we are. Ash has nothing to do with the story, but all of the Stray Dog variant prints were horror movie homages.
Yeah,
so
which I got.
I've got all of them.
All of them.
So one of them was an Army of Darkness homage, but it was just like the poster, but with all the dogs around it.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty rare one, I think.
Hey, Elvis, do you have any Tim Sale keys? Because if not, I'm going to peacock on you for once. But yeah, so it's hey Jasper, if you get a chance to check it out, even pick up the thing. Hey Tyler, let me tell you, I don't think you're ready, man. He's on YouTube.
Yeah, man, I've got a trade paperback that I let Davis borrow already. I can bring it and let you read that.
Yeah. Hey, it is a intense story. Like it is so it's weird because of the art kind of lulls you into this thing. But it's a great story.
Dark story with cartoony fucking art, and it just hits everything, man. It's so good. You know, another one I got for free.
Hey, you've been drinking too much, Jamie, because he said he already has it. You already gave it to him.
Did I? I still don't remember. Well, I wasn't drunk when I gave it to him. When did I give it to you? I know neither of us are big on Dynamite, which is weird because they have some great properties, but this is a dope cover.
Yeah.
And it's signed by the artist. This is one of the ones I got on a giveaway. Dan, what's up, man?
Hey, Jay, you saying that your LCS doesn't have your pull? Okay. Hey, on this
one, it's done, Jay.
Yeah, it's done. So
it was a 5 or 6 issue series.
5 issues, and there was a 2-issue like prequel type thing, right? But if you get the trade, it's awesome. And I think the trade's like $15. So it's not too expensive, and it's worth it. So hey Elvis, so my 2 cents on Ms. Marvel, the TV show, the TV show. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna fuck the haters. It's a great show. It is so on point. It's probably the most comic accurate show
as far as character
that's come out on Disney Plus.
That kid is adorable and is perfect as
Yeah,
Kamala Khan.
and hers, like if you read the articles on, she is a fan. She's not an actress who read up or anything like that kind of type of thing. And it's like, oh, I don't even know about Marvel. She is a fan. She was on an interview saying that where she saw Iron Man, the movie with Robert Downey Jr., went out and bought Iron Man comics. Through Iron Man comics, discovered Riri Williams, started reading Ironheart comics, and then discovered through Ironheart comics, discovered Kamala Khan and started reading that and just instantly connected. During filming, there was just a article I shared with Jamie that Kevin Feige got upset with her for watching WandaVision on her phone because she was missing out on everything. So it's a fan. So definitely number one, if you haven't watched Miss Marvel, definitely add it on your watch list. It's really cool, and it is a show that everybody in your family can watch. So it's not like something that you gotta. It's virtually all ages, for the most part. Obi-Wan is on point. It's criminal.
Yeah.
It's only 6 episodes, man. That last episode was so good. The
That
Boys.
kid who plays young Leia is so fucking good, man.
He is. And I like the way they're utilizing her. And you know, some of the fanboys are arguing about timelines and all that other stuff, but Comics Explain or Rob from Geeks Explain kind of said it great in one of his videos where he was saying that Leia had to have become who Leia was when we met her in A New Hope. Somehow she didn't just become that person, right? So there had to be stuff. So it was great seeing that. And as for The Boys, let me tell you something. That is.
Are you caught up on The Boys?
I am caught up on The Boys. It's good.
I don't want to give anything away because it's still
good.
rolling. I know everybody hasn't caught up, but
it's good. It's good.
The thing about it is when it first started, I thought they were kind of going this season. I thought they were kind of going that Walking Dead route where like we're going to up the shock value and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Because that first death in season 3, like I thought I was done being shocked by shit on TV. And then I saw that first death with the termite. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But and it was gory, big shock, like all kinds of crazy shit going on. But then as it went, like the story and character development is so fucking good.
It is. This season, I think, like, it's always been really good.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah. I think it's always been good. But now where you get to focus on somebody that's not Billy Butcher, right? Like not Billy Butcher and his vendetta against Homelander. I think it's it's so good. And what I also like about it is that it's homaging to comics in certain ways and not necessarily panel for panel, and they're forging their own story. Like the whole the big reveal this year about Soldier Boy, right? So we all knew Soldier Boy was kind of Jensen Ackles' character. I like the way they changed him up. I like the way he's being portrayed in this. I think he's going to throw a curveball in there, but I definitely like it. And Huey's story is looking pretty good. Hopefully what I think happened to a character didn't happen. In episode 4 or 5, the last episode, hopefully it'll come through. But it is so good. It's the complete opposite of Miss Marvel. It is
definitely. Don't have kids around when you watch this.
100%. But I do like the parallel they drew between Steve Rogers, right? And the pastiche of Soldier.
I like how he did it. It's very.
I love it.
I know it's way before Mark Millar, but it's very Mark Millar-ish.
Yeah.
Where you're like, what if these guys were dicks?
Mm-hmm.
And just building a complete universe about that. So you got your Captain America, you've got your Superman, your Wonder Woman. Although I like how some of them still kind of keep the same character. Like Queen Maeve is still Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She's really not a dick.
No.
She's like still one of the good guys.
She is, and it took a while for her to get there. much like in the comic book, right? Like in the comic book, it was the same way. It took a while for her to get there, and so it's definitely really good.
Yeah, for sure, Jay. That's like, I I love those stories where I'm a big fan of Superman's a bad guy.
Oh yeah,
Injustice is one of the best DC runs ever. I wasn't a big fan of the art, but the story is phenomenal.
yeah. Well, Brightburn.
Brightburn, Brightburn is so good. Like I was just like jaw on the floor the entire movie. Like this is the greatest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't seen Brightburn, you need to go watch it. You need to watch it.
Red Sun, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Red Sun's good too. Red Sun was really good. I like that movie. That one.
Another one, Wanted.
Wanted was good. You know what I didn't like about Red Sun, the movie, though? I don't like how they deviated from the ending. But I get it. I get why they did it, because the ending was super like time loopy, you know. But I do like because there was a small little twist in the ending in the comic versus how they did it in the movie. But Red Sun in there is good to go. Oh, so
we were talking about this recently.
We were. So I would tell you what this is what I feel. I feel that one, it's The Rock, so the movie's going to do very well. The movie's going to do very well. And I believe, and the other problems that DC is having or Warner Brothers is having with some of their other actors, right? So we won't mention all the problems. We won't get into what was going on with Ezra Miller. But I believe that they are going to. So funny thing is, Jamie came up and was like, "Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if The Rock was supposed to be in the original Shazam and then decided, nope, I don't want to be in Shazam," and they ended up making their own Black Adam movie. Like 2 days later, came out an article of The Rock saying how the Black Adam movie came out to be, and it was essentially that. Read the lines.
I was looking at it, and Mark Strong's character, I can't remember his name.
Dr. Savina, something like that.
Yeah, so that character in the comics does not have those Superman-like powers.
Right.
He can't fly, super strength, and all that. He doesn't have it.
And he wasn't. He was not a candidate by the Wizard either.
And going through, like, basically his story in there is a modern loose play on what Black Adam is, where he went for it and he got it, and then he wasn't worthy or something, but he kept the power until he accidentally said Shazam and then fucking turned to dust.
Yeah,
because he was 1 billion years old.
Yeah,
but so it's like the movie was already written with Black Adam as the villain, and then they cast him, but then The Rock was like, no, I can't be a bad guy. I'm The Rock.
I'm The Rock.
So he was like, he basically told him, said, hey, let's do a Black Adam franchise. It'll make billions of dollars, which is probably true.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Okay, we'll rewrite this movie. We'll just put a new bad guy in as the antagonist and just, basically make the same movie. And if you watch it, you can see where it was Black Adam.
Yep.
They made some minor changes with the sins or whatever.
Yep.
And that's really it. Like the rest of it, you can tell it was written to be Black Adam.
Yeah.
With the origin of trying to get the power, he wanted to be Shazam. His actual power set in the movie where he can fly and has super strength and all that. It's Black Adam.
Yeah. And so we think that the DCEU will now be centered around Black Adam, and they'll do away with, right? Because the DC Warner Brothers has embraced the whole multiverse thing, but they will
That's something they actually do really well.
Yeah, they will keep Black Adam in its own multiverse and probably build off from there, especially now with the way Black Adam is being depicted in the comic books as an anti-hero. So
that's been going for a while too.
Yeah, definitely rewatch it. It made sense. And AJ, so if you get a chance to read it. It's a good little twist in there. It's kind of like Gotham by Gaslight. and it's kind of like the Injustice movie. So DC does great animation movies, but they obviously change some of the aspects of the animation of the animated movies.
Yeah, I didn't like the Hush one.
Yeah, I didn't like the Hush one either.
And what was the other one? Killing Joke.
Yeah,
The,
that
the
one was
extra shit they added at the beginning.
yeah,
Garbage.
because because Elvis actually loved the Killing Joke movie. I would love to hear your take, Elvis, or read your take, Elvis, on the Killing Joke.
Well, we can bring that up when we actually get him in the stream next time.
There you go, Elvis. You'll bring it up. We'll talk about the Killing Joke. But definitely, if you get a chance to read it, you'll see kind of the full circle-ish, time loopy type of thing that I was talking about. But the movie itself, all the way up until probably the final act, was exactly how obviously truncated, but it was very true to the comic.
Mhm.
It was just the kind of the final act where it went off script, where I think it lost me a little bit.
They did the same thing with the Long Halloween.
Yes.
Change the ending.
They
And
actually
they
changed the bad guy too, I think, in the Long Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I mean by it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't even understand why they're doing that.
Me neither.
There's no need.
And it's kind
Because
of
I get changing characters and endings and stories like in the movie universe. Like Marvel does it all the time, and it's usually good. It makes sense in the movie. Yeah, Hank Pym didn't make Ultron. It makes sense that Tony Stark did in the MCU.
Yeah.
God, that's good. I don't know why the animated movies are doing that.
So, and what's crazy is those changes usually don't work. Like it doesn't work for. They did that same thing with Gotham by Gaslight. They did the same thing. They changed the ending, or a big portion of it, and it's weird, right? This for the Long Halloween, I feel that person read
I did the same thing, Jay.
read Identity Crisis and was like, what'd be cool? Identity Crisis.
Hey Jay, I don't know if you remember, it was like at least 5 years ago or maybe more, or something like that, when we were talking about like the movies and the comics, because I know you read all the Star Wars extended universe books, and I was like, just look at it like a multiverse, man, the same way I do comics. Like I got the comics, but I got the movies, and I can love them both. I just look at them as different universes.
Yeah.
I was like, do the same thing with Star Wars, man. Like, I know you read all those books, and there's an entire universe built on it, and I don't know them, but like, I'm pretty sure you're probably there now when you're watching like the Disney Plus shows. Be like, oh well, this is Star Wars Universe 600, but the books are Star Wars Universe fucking 1122.
It's kind of, I mean, if you look at it, they're introducing a lot of that extended universe just in their own way, right? Are you talking about the?
Because I loved that movie and pretty much hate what J.J. Abrams did.
Which one did Rian Johnson do?
The second one of the new trilogy.
That one was good.
Yes, that's such a good movie.
That was good. J.J. Abrams. Yeah, man, he shot a blank on number 3.
Yeah, I like how Honest Trailers said, from J.J. Abrams, the man who has never failed to not land, or not stick the landing. But I like that Rian Johnson actually gave character development, and like he was like, okay, all we have now is a poor man's Palpatine and Darth Vader, so I'm gonna have him kill Snoke.
Yeah,
and make him his own villain.
Yeah,
and then they took like J.J. Abrams obviously copied A New Hope.
Yep.
And
was it New Hope? Yeah, it was A New Hope. But you know what though? To his, I'm not even going to defend it, but the weirdest thing was he gave the most vocal fanboys what they wanted. Right?
That's true.
He gave them what they wanted, because when the prequels came out, they all bitched and moaned how the prequels were nothing like the thing, right? And
Well, it's a valid criticism though, because George, God damn it, Lucas, thank you, actually set things up in the original ones that he basically forgot about when he did the prequels, and then it just kind of like fucked everything up, you know.
Yeah.
And
Spider-Man.
no, I'm not going to do that, Jay. Shut up.
Spider-Man. Easy. All day, every day.
And he has.
Yeah.
Civil War.
Read Civil War. Mollywop that dude, man.
Spider-Man is so underrated in his power set because he holds back so much.
And where did we discover that at, Randy?
His holding back?
Yeah.
One great one was when he like lifted the fucking subway and everyone was like, oh, he's as strong as the Hulk.
Yeah. But in story, like when somebody else said that.
I'm not sure we were
Superior Spider-Man. I'm just giving you mess, man, because it was written by Dan Slott, and I know you hate
that guy. Just remember, if Dan Slott can make it, so can you.
So in Dan Slott's Superior Spider-Man, obviously, spoiler alert, Dr. Octopus occupied Peter Parker's body, and he was fighting, was it the Scorpion at the time, I think? It was, I think it was Matt Gargan, and he
remember.
I can't remember, but it was a villain, and he just let a punch go, man, and he just obliterated the jaw of that villain. And then Dr. Octopus realized that the whole time that he's ever fought.
Shut up, Jay. I'm about to ban you.
The whole time Spider-Man had been holding back, right? Because he could have easily just obliterated him. But in story, he kind of did that. So to your answer, Elvis, Spider-Man, all day, every day.
You watch much Hishi, How It Should Have Ended?
Yeah.
I like how all of them end up with like, he's talking to the guy, the bad guy, and they'll do something. He'd be like, do you have super strength? They'd be like, no. He'd be like, I do.
and Elvis, and to quote Captain America in the Avengers, Iron Man is nothing without his suit. Just period. Nothing without his suit.
Yeah, you remember the Batmath meme, right?
Yeah.
Love that thing.
Because Iron Man, Tony may be a hey, have a good night,
Jay. Your band.
So Spider-Man all day. Spider-Man is just as smart, just not as lucky as Tony Stark.
He wasn't born into the wealth already. He did start his own tech company, though.
He did. And Doc Ock, when he took over, patented his name in Spider-Man and stuff like that. Do you think Iron Man would win, Elvis? And if so, why?
I am out of whiskey.
I would if you were here. I'd share some of mine.
I've got some beers. I might have to go grab one if we're going to keep this going.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep it going for a little while longer.
All right.
What other questions you guys got out there?
Stand by. I'll be right back.
I got to start being like Randy and wearing a comic book.
Notice this is No Way Home. It's got all 3 logos.
Oh shit! I just noticed that. Man, that's kind of cool, man.
It's that hot topic, where all the kiddos shop these days. We go grab one.
So another big book while Randy's going to go grab whatever, Elvis. While Randy's going to go grab that is, or another book that I have I'm going to send off to get graded is The Toxic Avenger. If you got, oh my gosh, man, what is his name? Peter Dinklage. He's going to star in this movie. So I got 2 copies of this book, a newsstand copy. There we go. And then I got a direct copy. So it's pretty cool. So, and it's awesome because growing up, I watched a lot of Troma movies. So that'll be cool. So hopefully they do the movie some justice. He is not the best Avenger, Elvis. Let's stop it. He's not the best Avenger. I already broke your heart once on telling you why Iron Man was not the best Avenger. If you go in terms of the MCU, everything bad that's happened is so what I'm currently reading, real quick, what I'm currently reading is I'm reading Nice House on the Lake by James Tynion IV. I'm reading Strange Academy, which the first semester, issue 18 comes out this month. And so that'll kind of end it for that. I'm also currently reading oh my gosh, it's whiskey brain right now. Thor. I'm reading Donny Cates' Thor. I've actually read and reading the current Iron Man run, where he inherited the powers of the power cosmic.
Oh, did he really? I'm not reading that.
So I'm actually reading that one. And I'm reading Department of Truth. And to be quite honest, that is a hard read. That is a hard, mostly for the art, because the art can be distracting. And that's basically it. I just finished reading a great series by oh man, I'll murder his last name, but it's the book is called The Good Asian. So if you like crime noir, 1930s Chinese immigrant policeman out of Hawaii was brought to San Francisco to help solve a crime. Great story. And Elvis, I'll save my Iron Man spiel for you the next time we see each other. But I will say this: everything bad that's happened in the MCU has happened because of Iron Man.
That is true. They've actually made it canon. Every time they make a new villain, they're like, his origin story is he used to work for Tony Stark, but Tony Stark was a dick.
I'm just saying, probably the only time, and matter of fact, the two worst dudes in the MCU have goatees: Tony Stark and Stephen Strange. Stephen Strange gave up the Time Stone.
You see, I don't remember what book it was, but when I don't remember which one it was, but they were like, awesome facial hair bros.
Yeah.
High-fived him. He's like, I hate you.
Hey, Gabe, that is such a fun read. So I'm going to be honest.
Wait, hold on. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
You can tell me what you think about it, if it's good or not.
Hey.
But don't give details, because I've got it sitting right over there in my to read box.
Okay.
I'm so like 3 fucking months behind.
Blew away expectations. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Gabe. So I initially kind of like threw it away. I was like, oh, it's a filler story, whatever. I'm not gonna read it. And then I grabbed a hold of Alpha and read it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just nothing better than a Rock'em Sock'em Robots type of thing. And to see where it's at right now, it's awesome. So Randy, I'm gonna tell you right now, is a great story. It's probably Donny Cates. I think he's writing. Yeah, Donny Cates writes it.
Yes.
So it's at his best because he ties those loose threads like he usually does.
Yeah.
But he's untethered to anything else, right? So he can just do whatever the hell he wants to do. But he's still tying it to Thor and to the Hulk series by what's happening. So it's a filler story, but it's still somewhat canon. But it's that last issue.
Got to update since I don't have the whiskey. I'm on a Founders All Day IPA now.
Hey, I told you last time I was going
to
about IPA.
Here's a God Country #1 second print 9.8.
Yeah. Donny Cates he's hated on for no reason, to be quite honest.
He's the new Mark Millar.
Yeah, but but his hate. So Mark Millar's hate, I think, comes from Millar's cocky, and Cates is to a point. But a lot of people, I think the people who started that hate on Cates is that they spec on a lot of his crap, right? And Cates, like the Black Winter when he's like he did Thor, or hell, Venom with Virus, right? So he
Yeah.
did this Virus story, and then
He just writes a story to write a story. He doesn't give a shit
exactly,
about the second market.
and
He
I
doesn't
love
write
his
like,
Thor
I'm going
one.
to make a character that's going
Yeah,
to be big and be worth a bunch of money for you.
yeah,
He's
and
like,
you
no,
know
I'm
what?
writing a story at the end.
Exactly, and it's the same with Tynion, right? So Tynion got knocked for his Batman run, which is awesome, by the way. And I'm looking forward to Zdarsky's run on Batman. But Tynion's run on Batman, they were like, he's introducing too many new characters. But these are the same guys who go, why aren't you introducing new characters? and you can tell the guys who didn't read the books because they compared Punchline. Now, I get the initial thing, right? You compare Punchline to Harley Quinn. The initial push is here's another female psychopath. Harley Quinn's a anti-hero now, so they got to introduce a villain version of her.
Yeah.
But then you read Punchline, you read what she was doing and how she was.
It's not even close.
Not even close. Not at all, man. And so, other than the parallel that she's a woman who happened to be Joker's sidekick, there was nothing the same.
Hey, Lori. So I'm going to tell you, absolutely not.
No.
Changes can be great, and they're oftentimes needed for the movie, for the story that's being told. The only thing is, did you tell a good story?
Yeah.
And I think a perfect example is Thanos.
Yes.
In Thanos in the comics, he is completely driven by, so Death is an actual being. It's female being, and he is in love with Death and wants to impress Death. So he like obliterates the entire universe to try and win over Death.
Try to knock them boots. That's why he's trying to get them draws. That's what.
But that would not work in the movies the way it was written. And his motivation in there was just really good. And it made sense. And like it was somewhat of a character that you could I want to say
with.
What's that?
Empathize with.
And yeah. So he's almost there because he kind of went through this journey, and he was like, if we just did a calling, everyone would be good. And if we did that, my planet wouldn't be destroyed. So I'm going to help you by doing that. So you don't agree with it, but you understand him.
Yeah.
And it was so brilliantly done. And I think another one that we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago is Ultron. In the comics, Hank Pym is the one who made Ultron. And Hank Pym is kind of the dick that Tony Stark is in the movies.
Yep.
And without the wife beating. But in the movies, since it was started with Tony Stark and he's got all the tech and everything, like it just flowed so well that he made Ultron because he had this change in the movies where he wants to protect everyone now. So this is a logical step in his progression of what he wants to do. And if they just I originally thought they were going to do Ant-Man 1, and then like Ultron would be the third movie for the Avengers.
Yeah.
But what they did just made more sense, and it just flowed so much better.
Yeah, and also how they changed the character of Iron Man. So, hey, Gabe, yes. So on Batman 125, Chip Zdarsky starts off. There's a trailer on YouTube. I'll see if I can pin it to the comment on Facebook or even on YouTube. There's one of those comic trailers on there. It's going to be written by Chip Zdarsky. It's going to be drawn by Jorge Jimenez, who is
nice,
awesome. It's awesome. So I'm glad to see him back on the title. And that first story arc is a play on that Batman trope that Batman has a fail safe for everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, and I believe
the story is called, so much.
So I believe the story is called Fail Safe. So it looks like it's going to be a real good one. So I'm looking forward to it. What Chip Zdarsky did in his Stillwater was awesome, and what he did with Daredevil was great. So I'm looking forward to it.
And Have you been reading crossover?
I have not read the last 2 issues, but
Okay,
I
but
have.
you read Chip Zdarsky's crossover?
Yeah, I did.
His crossover number 7, guys. If you have not read crossover, you have to read the first 6 to read number 7, but it was probably the comic of the single issue of the year last year.
Yep.
It is like meta, but like he broke down his own psychology in that book, and it is so good, and there's nothing like it, and it's I don't know what else to say about it.
Hey, Lori. So, and also to expand a little bit more on need to be faithful. I think that's what drives some of the toxicity that we were talking about in some of the groups, right? This faithfulness to something for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah,
And what we forget is these characters have evolved over years, right? The Peter Parker we know today is not the Peter Parker that we were introduced to even in the 80s. Hell, the Deadpool we like today, the fourth
was
wall breaking,
created by Mark Waid, I think.
yeah, in his Ed McGuinness run. It may not be Mark Waid, but in the Ed McGuinness run,
Oh,
that's where.
That's good because I fucking hate Mark Waid too.
so he was created. So, and that is the Deadpool that everybody knows and loves in the movies. And I'm going to give a little bit of credit, not a little bit. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Fox. They deviated greatly from the comic books during their X-Men movies, right? So it's obviously except for X3, which fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But X-Men 1 and X2 deviated enough from the movies, from the comics, that it introduced and it was made it palpable. You know, it made it palatable for non-comic book fans, because I think
They were decently good movies.
Yeah,
even as an X-Men fan.
Yeah, and what becomes a problem is somebody thinks, oh, to watch this movie or to know this character, I have to go through and read all of this comic books to know who this person is. And as long as you tell a good story, it's great. Like Moon Knight, in some of the groups, people were hating it. Like, oh my gosh, you barely saw Moon Knight. Jesus Christ, blah blah blah.
He didn't even start with the identities,
right? And if you
where's
watch
the werewolf?
Yeah, where's the werewolf, right? If you watch the Moon Knight show, it is so nuanced and it's so layered on from beginning to end. Like all the episodes build on top of each other. I don't think there was, in my opinion, a weak episode. Obviously, there was some slower than the others, but it built on how Moon Knight becomes how he's motivated, why he's motivated, and what the conflict is within him, and the way it ended. They are. And so, you know what's crazy, Tyler, is Lemire's run, which gets a lot of credit to kind of motivate that. I think it's the first time where they truly explored how they is. And in the current Moon Knight, they are all different characters. So Mark Spector is different from Jake Lockley. He's different from Steve Grant. Mr. Knight is completely different from the Moon Knight himself. So it's like 6 different personalities in there. So it's
That's something I love that they did in the show,
it's a great book,
where
yeah.
each personality had like their own suit.
Yeah,
I thought that was a clever way to do it, because before that, like during the Warren Ellis run, you know, he would be Mr. Knight, but then when he's, you know, businessing,
yeah,
and then he would go into the full Moon Knight suit when he's Batmaning. And then, but I really like the idea that like each personality has their own version of a Moon Knight suit.
I do too. Well, he didn't run. To his defense, he didn't run out last time.
It's not that I run out. I use it all. I don't waste it. I'm not a fucking amateur.
So, so this current run of Moon Knight is really good. I'm enjoying this current run of Moon Knight. I think it's Zeb Wells who's writing it. So I like what he's doing there. So definitely a great read.
It almost seemed like it was going to be an anthology style where each book was its own story, but then they all kind of tied together anyway.
Yeah. And I love the Zodiac character. I love this obscure character that they brought him into this book, and
Pulling the strings.
yeah, oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's
so
similar
good.
to what Cates is doing with Thor right now.
Yep, similar what Case is doing to Thor. Similar what I think with Zdarsky's Daredevil run, I think he had like kind of that stuff there. Hey man, they were great horrible movies. And you know what I loved about Troma movies? They never took themselves seriously. Class of Nukem High is a must watch. Must watch.
No idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh man. Oh, this right here. You stepped away. The Toxic Avenger. Troma movie.
Oh.
You ever watched the Troma movie, Randy?
No.
You suck.
What's Troma?
Watch the Toxic Avenger, man.
No, I saw the original Toxic Avenger movie.
So Troma, you know, so the studio that did it was Troma. And
Troma's the story, the studio. Okay.
Yeah. That guy did not give a fuck. He just made the movies the way he made it.
Dude, Strange Academy, man.
Strange Academy's good. It's good.
What's the Midnight Suns? So here's your spec, guys.
Yeah.
They just announced recently they're doing a new Midnight Suns miniseries, okay? And one of the main characters is Zoe from Strange Academy. That's the zombie girl. So, and we were talking about this the other day. Me and Angel both said, like, Marvel doesn't do this randomly and by accident. Every time they're releasing something on comics, there's usually a reason for it in the movies or TV shows. An example would be the Defenders. There's a new, or not Defenders, Thunderbolts. There's a new Thunderbolts miniseries coming out led by Hawkeye. And then about a month or two after the comic was announced, they announced that the movie is in production and announced a director. So we don't actually know anything. We're only speculating.
Yep.
That's the spec business. Is if they're suddenly doing a Midnight Suns, there's been rumors about them for a long time. They did the video game. They're bringing Blade in.
Yeah.
There's like just so much feeding into this. So one of the specs is, I mean, Strange Academy 1 is a huge spec anyway, because it's just screaming Disney Plus series.
And it has 10 first appearances in there.
and they're all characters that are, you read them, you're like, these, at least half of these are going to be major players in Marvel.
Yep.
In the next couple of decades. Like, and I don't mean like wait a couple of decades. I mean like now.
Yeah.
Over the next 10, 20 years, they are going to start spreading out into other books. And Zoe going into Midnight Suns is a good example.
And she plays a prominent role. In the synopsis, they talk about that. But surprisingly enough, a lot of people, and Elvis is a huge Scotty Young fan for his cover art.
Covers.
But Scotty Young is writing Strange Academy, and it's really good. I really like it. And Humberto Ramos is doing the art, so he's one of my favorites. So, but Strange Academy is a great read.
I know he always has been. I remember when we were in Iraq in 2008, and I was looking at it was Civil War Wolverine.
Yep. Yeah.
He did the art on that, and you were like, "This is my favorite artist."
It's good stuff. So definitely look into the Iron Man. This current run, it brings back an old Avengers villain, Michael Korvac, and that first. Oh man, so I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay. The first arc was really good. The first 6-7 issues, it drags a little bit as Tony's starting to find himself, but it ends really good. And this last issue ended on a really good kind of two ways to look at it. It's Tony being Tony and having to learn the hard way, but it still ended in a really good place. And then Patsy Walker, Hellcat, is playing a more prominent role in this one, and so that's pretty good.
I've seen that. I haven't read it, but I've seen that. That's what's happening. And then what is Iron Cat? Iron
Cat, yeah. You know, man, I don't know
what Iron Cat is.
I haven't read it. I don't know who that is. I haven't read it, and it's probably going to.
I'm probably Patsy, right?
No, it's not Patsy. No, it's not Patsy. But in that run, they introduce a lot of people. They bring back an Iron Man run. They bring in a lot of people. Michael Korvac, like he was when he was introduced initially, is the same old psychopath that he was before. But it's a good story. It just, I'd probably say the middle. I'd say probably from issue 7 to maybe.
It is Felicia, or are you guessing?
No. So Iron Cat was Felicia, and then during her time during King in Black, where she had to go after. Now we're really nerding out. In King in Black, she had to go after, and I think she went after the Infinity Stone. She went after something.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And she's actually has anti-venom. She had anti-venom armor and had the anti-venom with her. And then Iron Man made her a suit. And in Iron Cat is a completely different person in the Iron Cat suit that Tony Stark made for Felicia in that one.
Oh, but somebody else has it?
Yeah, it's somebody else in there.
Okay.
And then I haven't read it, so I can't say if it's in perfect Marvel fashion where they just like forget dragging it over 5 issues. We're just going to tell you in the beginning who it is, like they did with Iron Fist. Yeah. I like what they're doing, and I like what they're doing with Felicia, and I like she's finally getting her due, because I feel that she was an underappreciated character and probably did not fit the mold for what people wanted with Peter Parker, right? Because and Spider-Man, because she was a love interest for Spider-Man, like she and a real heavy duty love interest. And so I think they wanted to play that wholesome card with Gwen and with MJ. And I think they missed an opportunity to introduce a awesome character into the MCU or even into Sony. So hopefully they do something.
Well, Sony's got it, and they were looking at let's see,
a Black Cat movie. They were looking like
in black. It's going to be Silver Sable and Black Cat.
Yeah. Which I don't know how it's going to work, but then again, Black Cat is a thief. And and
Silver Sable is basically kind of a cop.
Yeah.
So like you can start that way and do the normal comic thing where like they're against each other, but then they have to team up against a bigger evil.
Just don't do it like the Ryan Reynolds and The Rock movie. That was bad on Netflix.
Which one was that?
It was Ryan Reynolds and The Rock and Gal Gadot on Netflix.
Oh, right. Red Notice.
Yeah,
Red Notice. Really liked that movie. And I was giggling during it the whole time because it's basically because of Ryan Reynolds. Like, I had so much fun during that movie. Like, Ryan Reynolds is fucking fantastic in everything he does.
Ryan Reynolds
comes in when they're in the like
being Ryan Reynolds.
What's that?
But I did like his sci-fi movie.
Adam Project.
What's that?
Adam
Project. Yeah, that was awesome.
No, but got Red Notice, like when Gal Gadot came in during the gala, and he was like, "Oh, you look awful." I fell on the floor laughing, dude. I love Ryan Reynolds so much, man.
Yeah, but yeah, so I like what they're doing with Black Cat. I think she's actually the new Spider in Edge of Spider-Verse, the Night Spider or whatever the heck they call it. So I think she's the new Spider there. And then I'm looking forward to Dark Crisis. I want to read Dark Crisis. That one looked pretty good.
I got number DC. 1. I picked it up in the Walmart pack.
The number one?
Yeah.
That came out already? Fuck.
They're in Walmart packs. And I got that White Knight in there. Yeah. I picked up like 3 DC packs at Walmart.
So I'm glad you brought up White Knight. Okay, so for those of you guys who are watching, the Murphyverse, the Batman White Knight stories, Sean Murphy, top notch. Those are great stories. Definitely should read them. You don't even have to be involved in or knowledgeable of Batman lore. So, all right. So the second question, how did Ultimate Fallout 4 become a Grail? And this
Very popular character,
very
but
popular
very
character.
overlooked. And
So
I say overlooked because there's actual printed mail to Marvel in follow-up books where people are saying that they are so disappointed
yeah,
and that this book is trash and they can't believe they wasted their money.
yeah.
Like
So
the other
ultimately,
one is representation, I think.
yeah.
But
So
as a
is
very,
exactly it.
very white person with lots of freckles, I'll let you take this.
So 100%. That's what it is. So obviously, it was the Ultimate Universe, right? So it was the Ultimate Universe, and it was Marvel's opportunity to introduce different concepts and modernize characters, and and I think what they did with Peter Parker, they saw an opportunity. Brian Michael Bendis, thank God, Brian Michael Bendis came out there and had the courage to say, "I'm going to kill
Oh,
one of the
hold on.
most popular
I
characters."
want to tell this story. I don't know.
Yeah,
Have
go
I
ahead.
done this before?
No, I don't think
Of
so.
how he came up with it?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so this is a very condensed version of the story. Okay, so after the Sam Raimi movies, when Sam Raimi wanted to do a fourth movie, and on Spider-Man 3, he did not want to do everything that was in that movie, but Sony said, "Fuck you, cram in everything. We want Venom. Just make it huge because it's the third movie. It's got to be massive. 70 different fucking villains." Explosions, fucking Michael Bay. So Sam Raimi eventually had to do what the studio said, and then on the fourth movie, he was like, "Nope," and you know it got fucking panned. Everybody hated it. So the fourth movie, he was like, "Nope, not doing it again. There's going to be one villain. There's going to be character development or character driven, and it's going to be the Vulture, and take it or leave it." So Sony said, "Nope, we're going to walk away and we're going to reboot." So now they're looking at doing the reboot and they're looking at casting a new Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And there was a somewhat serious but mostly joking campaign online to make Donald Glover
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
as Spider-Man, Peter Parker, right? So Brian Michael Bendis was like seeing this and he was like, "Man, that's awesome. I would love to read that book. That would be great. That sounds so interesting." And if you didn't know, Brian Michael Bendis is married to a black woman, has two mixed race kids, right?
Yep.
So he was like, "Man, that sounds great. I would love to read that book. I would read that book." And then he was like, "Wait a minute, I write Spider-Man." so so he wrote that fucking book. And
Yep.
that's how Miles Morales was created, was
And-
because of a kind of a joking but a little bit serious campaign to make Donald Glover the next Spider-Man.
Thank
So
you,
Miles
fans.
Morales is loosely based on Donald Glover playing Peter Parker.
Thank you, fans. And it didn't. It was a slow road to it becoming a Grail, and it goes back to the MCU, right? So there was talk about making a Miles Morales. So Miles Morales showed up in the Fox TV shows. He showed up here, he showed up there, but it never really blew up. But then you start talking about Miles Morales as a possible showing up in the MCU, showing up on the big screen, and then you see the spike and where it's at now. Now, to your first question, is the next modern Grail? I don't think that Grail is. I don't think that book has been published yet. Uh, Mostly because we're still close within Ultimate Fallout 4. So if there is a
Also,
modern
just so
Grail,
many people are in the spec hunt right now.
right?
So
Well,
everything's getting bought looking for the next modern
right.
Grail. So it's not going to be a Grail because everybody has it.
That's right. And so I don't think it's been written yet. And I don't think it's a character, especially in the environment that we're in. It's very petty and divisive, and you get just enough vocal minority to kind of disrupt what could be an awesome character and an awesome book and awesome spec. It's like there's a vocal minority against Tosin.
Kamala Khan.
Yeah, Kamala Khan. That's another great one, right? So you get that loud and vocal minority. So I don't think the next modern Grail has been written yet or has been created. But how Ultimate Fallout 4 became a Grail, I think it became a Grail because one, timing, it was one, courage, right? So Brian Michael Bendis, jokingly or not, had the courage to essentially kill Peter Parker and introduce a new Spider-Man character, and that Spider-Man character being Afro-Latino. And then
Not black, Afro Latino. That's important. You've made that very clear to me.
Very clear. Which is a discussion for another day, and hopefully, Elvis, you come on, we can have this discussion about that.
I'll just sit and watch that one
and how he's been depicted. But so he's Afro Latino, and then it kind of stays flat, right? And then you get where awareness. I'm gonna call it awareness. I'm not gonna call it woke or anything like that, but is awareness, and then you get awareness, and then the kids who were too young or probably born around that time who are just looking for something to latch onto, and people like me and like you, Elvis, who and fun fact, Elvis, when he started collecting, he collected Spawn. And the reason he collected Spawn was because the main character was an African American male, right? So he Al Simmons, so it was African American male. So it's the same thing. So I think that they came there, and now you see this zeitgeist of kind of appreciation for what Miles Morales brings. Now, to be fair, I think he's been written kind of horribly here in the past few years, and a lot of his stories have mirrored.
Really?
Well, I think because a lot of his stories
Solomon is his name, I think.
Well, in this last series, I think it's good, but I didn't like his Clone Saga. I read it. It was a little derivative, and I don't think they found his voice, right? So like,
what do you think of the Bendis run?
Right, like the Bendis run, and oh man, God, Ta-Nehisi Coates, right? Like Ta-Nehisi Coates, when he wrote Black Panther, he wrote it from a perspective that was really good. So I don't think they found a good writer yet to kind of take what's happened to Miles previously and then expand them and kind of really build him into not that he is not currently, but to really shut up the people who go, he is a derivative of Peter Parker. If Peter Parker didn't exist, Miles Morales would be worth nothing, right? And I don't see it that way. I think they're both completely different characters. But when you tell stories that are somewhat similar in nature,
I see what you're saying. If you do the Clone Saga, it's like, well, Peter again.
You took one of the most hated stories of Peter Parker's ever.
Well, at least there's not another Ben Reilly.
Yes, exactly. Well, not a bad one, but yes, not a bad one. But you took probably one of the most polarizing Peter Parker stories, and then you introduce it in Miles Morales, and you twist it up, right? You twist it. You don't make the bad person a clone. You make him the 616 Miles versus the Ultimate Universe Miles, the bad person. But it still gives ammo to the haters out there to go, look, they have to copy Peter Parker's stories to be able to prop up Miles. And so I hopefully they can find his voice, or not find his voice, but really develop him a little bit more to be his own person and stuff like that. And I think they tried that now with his costume change,
which I hate.
I don't like it either, but they tried it. We'll see. But so to your first question, Elvis, I don't think the next modern Grail has been written yet or even created. And Ultimate Fallout 4.
Strange Academy 1 has a potential of being a GSX 1.
It does. Strange Academy, it does. I think
it was really overlooked.
Yes.
Because it was Harry Potter X-Men.
Yep. Yeah.
And then when it got out and people word of mouth hit, and everyone was like, "This is really good." Yeah. And then it got popular after it was already out. So there wasn't huge spectrum to start with.
Yeah. So yeah. So and Elvis, we talked about his how Mayhew depicted him in his store exclusive, you know, and very you know, with the cornrows and stuff like that. So um yeah, you know, so Jay, I would tell you this. I don't think he's the best new character since the 70s. However, he's probably the one that broke the barrier first, right? So you got Miles, and his stories were super compelling in the Ultimate Universe when Bendis was writing him and stuff like that. And then they had to come
I
along
know
and do
Bendis got a lot of criticism for writing him, being a white
yeah.
guy, but I thought he really did the character justice.
Well, yeah, because I think in interviews he said he did it from the perspective of what he believed his son and his children were looked through, right? So while he may not be black or African American, he does know some of the conflict, right? Hey Jay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I don't like the new costume, man. I
Yeah, I'm
hate
not,
the new
not a
costume.
fan. I fucking I love Miles, and I have
Yeah.
since day one. If you didn't know, I've had the reason I have all of my Ultimate Fallout 4s is because I bought them when they came out, because Angel got me into the Ultimate Universe when we were in Iraq in 2008, and they were so good, and that's what made me a big Mark Millar fan
Yeah.
and Bendis fan, because also House of M. So I just bought all of them, and that's why I have all these Ultimate Fallout 4s. But I've loved it since.
Yeah, he's a great character. I like the fact that they brought him over to the 616, and I like the fact that I like that
I'm
they
rebeering.
was that
I'm rebeering.
okay. I like the fact that they've brought him in his family, because his family played a big role in that. It is different, Jay, but I don't. This is where I like. It seems so impractical, and it's weird to say he's swinging around in spandex, and beforehand, and now he's in like a sweatsuit. But it is different. Uh, I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of it. But I do think Kamala Khan, um, her character is greatly, or her books, or her as a character is greatly underappreciated, and almost for the same reason now as how she's being written in there. But this last story where she oh my gosh, I can't remember, if I find it I'll post it in there. But there was this last story where it really not humanized her, but really kind of brought her home and stuff like that. I know, no, I the reason behind it is awesome. It's just the design. I just, for me, it's just there. Yes, and the way she was depicted in the Champions, in the last run, the Champions Outlawed, perfect, man. It's very on point. I think she did a great job, and hopefully, with the announcement of Wonder Man supposedly getting his announced, being that they're working on a project with on Disney Plus, hopefully they introduce Viz Vision. And that's true, right? Because I think if you look at it, Jay, it goes back to how Tom Holland's Spider-Man was depicted in Homecoming, right? His first costume that you saw in there, right? It's a costume of the things that he had.
Oh man, I missed so much.
and how he put that together. So from that respect, you're 100% on point. So Gabe,
Champions is good. It
yeah.
is nothing compared to the main Miles Morales stories.
Yeah, so the
especially
Champions,
the Bendis run.
Yeah, the Bendis run is probably Ultimate Miles, like the best Miles you're going to get. The Champions is really good. It's really good depiction of Miles, and all those characters is a real good depiction of Nova, is a good depiction of Amadeus Cho.
By all the fucking Nova first appearances.
Yeah, it's a good depiction
If you
of
can get Amadeus Cho also. That one's a little bit harder right now, though.
Yeah, it's the Champions is a great read, and as Randy and I talked, and I have a Young Avengers #1, and I know some of those characters were introduced.
Got 5.
I only got I got one, and I might pick up another one tomorrow.
You still have that 9.8, or did you sell it?
Oh no, I still got that 9.8. I still got it. It's in there.
I do not have a 9.8, so I think you might still win.
Hey, Cho's awesome. But the Champions did a real good job of exposing all those characters. I even like the way they kind of depicted Riri right before Outlawed or right in the beginning of Outlawed. How she was conflicted with what was going on. So
she was a little bit of a dick, like Iron Man, in that.
She was,
like,
though, right?
You guys.
and so it's I think the Champions does a real good job.
Bendis made Riri too.
He did, and J. Scott Campbell,
We made that cover where the young girl is supposed to look like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
and hey,
Campbell, I love your fucking covers, man, but you got to think about things sometimes.
And hey, Gabe, I don't know if you have Amazing Fantasy 15, not that Amazing Fantasy 15, but the Amazing Fantasy 15,
the other Amazing Fantasy 15,
where he debuted. But Amadeus Cho already is kind of sort of in the MCU because his mom appeared in Age of Ultron, or someone who people assume is his mom is in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Bendis is a top 5 for me, Jay.
Yeah, Bendis. Oh, he does
House of them. He made my Ultimate Spider-Man. I own every fucking issue. Ultimate Spider-Man is probably one of the top 5 greatest runs ever, and he wrote it for over a decade, which nobody does anymore.
Yep.
He did Avengers Disassembled, which led into House of M. He did the Iron Man run, which created Riri.
Yep.
I mean,
Bendis is prolific.
His Superman sucked, but everything in Marvel he touches is fire.
So funny thing. So we'll keep that for another show on why DC characters suck, and I don't think it's the writers.
Oh, hold on, because we'll bring this up then too. But I gotta say first, Jeff Loeb,
exactly, Jeff Loeb. So
brilliant fucking DC writing, awful Marvel writing.
All right, so oh man, so this is where I'm probably going to get some hate. So Stan was super influential, but I think the Marvel that we know now is not the Marvel that Stan created, and it's good and it's bad.
That's a true statement.
And it's good and it's bad, but
he actually didn't write that much.
Right, he did.
He did synopsis and then had a writer go in.
He was great at brainstorming, coming up with something and stuff like that. And if you look at it, it's very similar to the criticism that Claremont gets, right? So I think.
Wait, people criticize Claremont?
Oh my gosh! Say what?
What have I missed?
So
who the fuck criticizes Claremont?
So here's the thing, right? So Claremont has a lot of nostalgia. I love Chris Claremont. I'm going to go get books. I'm about to pay this man money so he can sign my books. However, a lot of people think that he benefited from the art, and they always go John Byrne. And,
I know him and Byrne don't like each other,
right? And Jim Lee and all that other stuff. So, so if you
I don't know if I agree with that, because his stories are fucking fantastic.
Did you read Sovereign 7?
The what?
Sovereign 7.
No.
Okay, read Sovereign 7 and then let's see what it's like.
Have you read Dark Phoenix?
I have read Dark Phoenix.
Okay, read Dark Phoenix. Hey Jay, were you here earlier when I showed these?
You see, AJ, you see how Randy's a prick like that? But yeah, so so Disassembled. So I'm gonna tell you, Disassembled was an awesome story. I think what he leading up to House of M, that Disassembled led up to House of M, right? I think
Disassembled, because that's when Scarlet Witch lost her shit,
killed
all the Avengers, and then the rest of the Avengers were like, "Should we kill her?"
It's great, but Bendis is up there. He's definitely up there. I like Mark Millar. I like Claremont. I like Straczynski, man, but I don't think he's written anything really good lately. Like I
No,
like
I don't
some,
think he's touched a comic in a while, has he?
yeah, I like some of his older work. I like
His Spider-Man
Remender.
was fantastic.
Yeah, I like Remender's older work. If
Remender X Force is probably my number one run, start to finish ever.
yeah, but now modern, like to people who are writing today on a
Case.
consistent basis, Kate's. I love what Tynion's doing.
Yep.
Um,
Do you know Tynion was discovered by Scott Snyder?
yep. Scott Snyder's another one that I like a lot too. So
His Batman run was so good.
it was so it's a lot of good writers out there. And Zdarsky is another one that's super good.
Tom Taylor.
Tom King. Yeah, Tom King's another one that I like.
Yeah, they're the same person.
Are they?
No.
Okay.
But they always get confused for it because they even like they're always confused for each other and they make jokes about it on Twitter all the time.
Tom King is the one that wrote the Adam Strange, the last Adam Strange story, I think. So run, I think was pretty good. And then is it Tom Taylor or Tom King who did the Deceased store doing kind of like those offshoots?
That's Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. It's awesome. So it's good stuff.
Tom Taylor's really good at those other verse ones because he did Dark Ages too for Marvel.
Okay, yeah.
And he did Injustice actually.
Are you reading Steel?
I'm not.
Oh
Dark Knight
my
Steel?
god. It's good.
Is it?
Yes.
That's Tom Taylor also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's really good. He's the Mark Millar of other verses.
Yeah. that Steel story.
I have to check it out.
Definitely check it out. And then man, I just had him on Sean Murphy. I like Sean Murphy. I like what he's doing with his Murphyverse.
So, this is one we disagree with. I disagree on is I was a little disappointed with the White Knight. I absolutely love the first issue where Batman, they really delved into hey, Batman's a dick.
Are you talking the original story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't read the new one yet. The
okay.
Beyond, I haven't read that. The original White Knight. And then they did the whole thing where people are videotaping him and he's like fucking up the Joker and Joker like hits a bunch of pills.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, what are these pills? I know you're up to something. And I was sure that this was all a very intricate plot by the Joker to make Batman look bad because of like viral social media and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be so good. And then that's not what happened. Like the Joker actually like took Xanax and was like, I'm a good guy now. And I'm like, fuck, this is not where I thought this was going. And
did you not see how the Joker essentially made the case that everybody makes against Batman? As a matter of fact, that Superman made against Batman and Damian Wayne made against Batman and Injustice that you love so much, that Batman is like Marvel's version, like DC's version of Tony fucking Stark. He thinks he knows so much. And in Murphyverse, he was able to do that.
Yeah, no, I get that part.
Hey, Jay, you're about to be banned, bro.
You didn't like Three Jokers?
No, he said he never liked Batman, but loved Three Jokers.
Oh, yeah. No, he's fucking weird like that. He's like, Batman sucks. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
And so Three Jokers
was great though.
It was a great story, and it's probably some of Jeff Johns' best work.
Other than Green Lantern.
Other than what?
Green Lantern.
Well, yeah, Green Lantern.
This Green Lantern run was fucking phenomenal. The way he really opened up the mythos and brought in all the other rings and shit. So good.
He did. And I like what he did there. I like Geiger. Geiger was pretty good by Jeff Johns.
I thought Blackest Night was a little bit of a letdown, but his run in total was fantastic.
You don't like Guy Gardner? All right, but not GL. So you don't like Hal Jordan? Jay? You weirdo. I like when Guy Gardner got knocked out by Batman, and that's why Batman is awesome.
uh, man, I love Batman so much. When you see things like they really do a great job with Batman in the animated movies, like
Yeah,
Batman, Superman. There was 2 movies with that with Supergirl, and then Doom. That was a great one.
that one's pretty good too.
I love that one because he was like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm about to fuck it up for you. So, at the end, he's like, hey, I've got bombs all over this planet. Let us go. I'm going to fuck everything up. And Darkseid's like, I don't think anyone else would do this, but I believe you would do this. So cool. Yeah, no, we're good. Like Darkseid fucking did not call Batman's bluff. He was like, yeah, you will definitely kill us all. We're good. Go ahead, go home.
So the way so it's funny. I just saw a caricature on Facebook that, and it goes to I can't remember who the writer was, but there was a writer not too long ago says that DC has a Batman problem,
which is true.
They do have a Batman problem, and everything has to be centered on Batman, and but however, I think he's a character that no matter who, it's very hard to write a bad Batman story, and because you can morph him into whatever you need him to be. So
like the Batman books, you can have the detective noir.
Yeah.
But then in Justice League, he's in that metaverse.
Yeah.
And they're basically different characters.
They are.
It's one of the reasons I love the new Batman movie is because it brought him back to his detective noir.
Yeah, I love that. I love that movie. But where you don't have that luxury with Superman. Like Superman, you can't write him any other way than the guy who is so rigid that which is why I think a lot of people liked Injustice, because that's one of the few times where he really lost his shit. But Superman can only be written a certain way, right? Like he's like, take Steve Rogers and put him up here, like super.
Steve Rogers still kill a motherfucker.
He will, but he'll forget he'll kill a motherfucker. Steve Rogers is on it.
Which was funny in Civil War when he started beating brakes off a Punisher for killing 2 villains.
Right.
He's like, I don't do that. But yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, but that's the lore.
Literally the character, though.
That's literally the character. So and I will tell you,
he overcomes despite not having powers.
Yeah. So I will tell you
his power.
I will tell you that if it wasn't, oh man, there was a story. I can't remember the name of the story, but essentially, it was in the modern era, probably the late 90s, where they essentially broke in and they took over the Justice League. They disabled the Justice League, and it was Batman's plan for everybody. I can't remember
what the Doom animated series was, I think.
Yeah, very, very similar to that. And it's kind of very if you look at it, it kind of goes back to the old A-Team Hannibal, right? From the A-Team. If you give him an hour, he's good. You give him this, he's this, and if you give him that much time, he's great. And it's kind of that thing. And then it was cemented even more with Frank Miller, which is even before that, before the time I'm talking about, where he essentially whooped Superman's ass in The Dark Knight Returns. So that just really,
I fucking love that too. And
that was
the main line there that people don't get when it comes to Superman and Batman is like, he says he could kill me and end this in a second if he wanted.
Yeah.
He could fly up and shoot me with his fucking laser eyes.
Yep.
But deep down, Clark is a good man, and deep down, I'm not.
Yep.
And that's the fucking point. Like, Superman could kill Batman, and everyone's like, "Oh, he would fucking rip him in half in a second." But he wouldn't, and that's the point, because the characters, it's not his character.
Yep.
Superman would not do that to Batman, but Batman would fucking do that to Superman.
and so And so the problem with Jay, to your point of concentrating on the world's greatest detective, is they did, and they wrote some real great stories about that, and those stories are in Detective Comics, and in Batman, they write other stories. Uh, no, it's not Spidey, but without the personality. So
He's got definite personality because
he
one of the
definitely does.
best underlying stories of Batman is how he fucks everyone up around him.
Yeah,
And I don't mean physically, I mean like Nightwing and
yeah.
Batgirl and fucking Damian is like his crusade is emotionally damaging to everyone.
So that's why I like the Murphyverse. So the Murphyverse to me does a real good job of depicting that. Probably the best story in modern Batman history and modern comics that depicts that is the Red Hood story,
Mm-hmm.
where he kind of does
Did you
that,
see?
and three
Probably the
Jokers.
best animated movie too.
Yeah, and three Jokers in a way. Yes, exactly. In three Jokers, yeah, you got me. Three Jokers where Batman's hubris cost everybody something, right? So Batman's hubris got Jason Todd beaten to death, and if it wasn't for the Lazarus pits, he wouldn't have came back. Batman's hubris got Barbara Gordon shot and paralyzed, right? In the Killing Joke, and James Gordon kidnapped and fucking tortured. Batman's hubris got him essentially sexually assaulted, and he had a kid out of wedlock with Talia al Ghul, and his son was raised by the League of Assassins. So it is all sorts of Batman. Again, that's why I joke around. He is the DC's version of the MCU Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That anything and everything he touches kind of in some way gets corrupted. And Three Jokers did good.
I
Now,
really like that comparison.
yeah, what I really like about Three Jokers is they essentially canonized
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Which
and he did a masterful job of it too.
Which gives the Joker an origin per se,
but it's still open.
Still open, and
because you don't know which Joker it was in the previous stories.
That's right.
And you had that one where he said, "Every time I remember it differently."
That's right.
Well, we don't even know which fucking one that was.
Thank you, Heath Ledger and Christopher Nolan.
Well, when Heath Ledger did that, it was off of a previous comic also.
Mm-hmm. But he canonized it. All right, man. We've been on for 2 hours.
We were shooting for an hour, and it's been almost 2.5.
So, hey, I don't know if the original Joker's dead, but I will say this: if by original Joker you mean the one portrayed by Cesar Romero in the 1960s as the kind of clown, whatever, I think that guy's gone. I think the Joker you'll see now is a mix between Heath Ledger's kind of anarchist type Joker and the psychopath that we see now, or that we saw in Tynion's Joker run. So again, I think that was pretty good and stuff like that. So the Joker to me is probably the greatest villain ever written.
I don't think there's that many people that would disagree with that.
Yeah, Green Goblin, I think, would be number 2 in my book. And
I think a lot of people say Green Goblin's a Joker ripoff.
I don't know, man. I could see it. I can definitely see some of the parallels. But unlike,
I don't agree with it. I'm just saying a lot of people would say that.
I would say, though, I think what makes Green Goblin or makes Norman Osborn a more tragic villain is that he at times tries to reform.
Yeah.
He tries to reform and then falls off. Probably number 3 for me, villain wise, is the Kingpin. And really it's on the strength of, he's always been a compelling character. And I like the way he was depicted in the animated, it escapes me now. Spider-Verse. Yeah. I like the way he was depicted there.
Yeah.
I love the way he was depicted in the Daredevil series.
Yeah, for sure.
But in comic
books, I know a lot of people are iffy on season 1.
Yeah.
like his development,
Yeah.
and especially into season 2 and then 3,
Yeah.
where he just like wrecked Punisher in jail,
Yeah.
and then 3, which was like an entire season of explaining how the villains always get out of jail, which
Yes.
makes you understand every fucking comic issue
Yeah.
of how they always get out. It was so good.
So Jay, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna semi agree with you there. So DC villains are definitely more colorful and more memorable.
Yep.
But I think Marvel villains are probably more nuanced. And if you look
You
at it,
got a couple big ones like Magneto and
yeah,
Doom
yeah,
and Goblin,
Goblin
but
and the anti-heroes like Namor and stuff like that.
some
But
with the Marvel, they get so popular
yeah,
they become heroes.
right.
Like Harley.
Like Harley,
Like, that
right?
doesn't really happen in DC.
Right. And so in DC, I think Harley was probably the only super popular villain that kind of crossed over into the anti-hero. Black Adam probably here lately, but I think
Yeah.
Black Adam was solely done because The Rock was
Well,
playing
he
Black Adam.
started kicking over that during New 52, if you remember.
He did, yeah, but I mean, but really, I think they cemented it really during once they announced The Rock.
But Marvel, you got guys like Venom,
Yep,
like you said, Namor.
yep. I
Like
think you get more nuance with Marvel villains than you do with DC, right? So DC villains are definitely more memorable. You definitely get, like Mr. Freeze and stuff like that. And I really think that speaks to the nostalgia that we experienced during the Batman animated series and stuff like that. But I would hold definitely almost definitely Joker number one as the best villain ever created. Mostly because you just don't know jack shit about this guy. You don't know what motivates him. You don't know whatever, other than to quote Alfred from the Nolan series, right? Some men just want to watch the world burn, and I think that really describes him there. But I think the more nuanced and the more developed and more empathetic villains come out of the Marvel universe, except for probably Mr. Freeze. But I think Mr. Freeze, the reason he's super empathetic is based on the Batman animated series, the way they depicted and redid his origin there for that. But you'd be hard pressed for anybody to not remember would pick a DC villain, a Marvel villain over a DC villain, but I think it's because DC villains are just more colorful and just jump out you more.
for
And
sure.
Marvel does a horrible job with their villains because in the movies, other than Kingpin,
They're one and dones for the most part.
yeah, and Thanos, who essentially is gone now, they're one and dones. There's not been a Marvel, even in animated or anything like that, that's kind of carried through.
Loki.
Well, yeah, but they turned him into an
He's a good
anti-hero.
guy now.
He's a good guy now, right? He reformed. Yeah, Loki. There you go, Loki. So, man, hey, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one, Jay. Punisher is probably up there in one of the best anti-heroes ever.
Yeah, because he originally came in as a villain.
Yep, he came in as a villain. He came in as a fucking merc.
Yeah,
Came in
he was hired by the Jackal to kill
Spider-Man. So I think the Punisher is probably the archetype of an anti-hero that everybody bases that off of. And the Punisher became an anti-hero based solely on his popularity. Like he came in and he just wrecked shop, and then everybody liked it. Venom, I think.
Venom's a great example, though, of a character that got so popular that basically had to turn him into a hero.
They had to turn him into a hero.
And I think Kate's run is really definitive on the character.
Yeah, but I think also whoever I can't remember who wrote the McFarlane stories as they kind of led to Michelini. I think they wrote themselves into a corner a little bit. He wrote himself into a corner because they kept saying that the symbiote, it's a symbiote, but they take on the qualities of the host, right? A little bit, right? So they kind of So, but never forgets. So when you say, so if the symbiote was attached to Peter Parker and if Peter Parker is nothing else but selfless, right? Selfless to a fault.
Oh, and you're saying like he like
Yes,
pushed them to basically
it was
be
inevitable. Like the popularity happened and it was super awesome, but I think it was inevitable with the way the story that, and then Cates I think played on that, right, by saying that. And if you look at it, because look at when Venom took when Flash Thompson had the Venoms as Ancient Venom, he controlled it and kind of took him forward. So
which is obviously going to be the next series that Sony does when Tom Hardy's done.
Oh man, I think Marvel's going to do it with that little piece of symbiote that stayed behind.
I don't think Sony's going to let that go because they still got the rights.
They will. They do.
I think they're going to let Marvel do their Venom story of some sort, something with symbiotes.
But I don't think it'll be Ancient Venom. I don't think it'll be Ancient Venom because who is the Sony's Flash Thompson?
Is Joe the big Jack dude from
Sophia
Blood
and he's a huge D&D player like Jason Momoa, I think is in the
It would actually be dope if they brought him in like the Sam Raimi one, and like they were like, oh, bro, this guy got like fucked up in Iraq after joining the Air Force.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
And you like, did I ever tell you my Agent Venom pitch?
No.
Okay, so this is what I said when the first Venom with Ed Hardy with Tom Hardy came out. Is you could still use Tom Hardy, but he would play Flash Thompson, right? And you could still do this with Joe. Is it would start just like Iron Man 1, where like he's out there, except instead of being a businessman doing his presentation or whatever, he's Captain Thompson, and they're out doing a patrol or something. They get hit by an IED, right? And then you have like kind of flashing in and out where he's like from his perspective, where he's like kind of blacking out and then coming back, and everyone's like, "Sir, are you with us? Are you with us?" And he's like blacking out, and then they're carrying him on a stretcher, and then he blacks out again, comes back, and there's doctors over him, and he blacks out. So like this would kind of go for a minute, and then eventually he'd come back to the hospital, and he'd be in like Germany or whatever, and some guys in black suits walk in. Obviously, they're going to be SHIELD or something like that, maybe CIA, and they're like, Captain Tom, I'm sorry. Right before that, the doctors are telling him he's never going to walk again because the shrapnel severed his spine.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a wheelchair, etc. And then after that, the suits come in and they're like, Captain Thompson, we think we have something that can help you. And then boom, title, right? Or the credits and all that. And you bring in the Agent Venom and everything, and then like the next scene is him like busting down in a warehouse, and he's Agent Venom, and he just like starts fucking up some drug dealers or something. I don't know, terrorists, whatever. Like wherever the story needs to take us on that one, and like that. So you literally only need the opening sequence to make Agent Venom.
Okay, I see that. I see that, and I hopefully they do make it, because Agent Venom is probably, in my opinion, the second. Well, okay. So the Venom, the original Venom, is probably the best. I like the way he was the like Peter Parker's or Spider-Man's antithesis and just tortured his ass.
Yeah.
For almost over a year, I think it was, right? Because from 300 to whatever. So he just like hammered him. But Agent Venom, Flash Thompson, that storyline was really good. I think that's probably the Venom.
I think it's the best option for a movie.
I think so, because I don't think you can make Eddie Brock Venom. I mean, you get Tom Hardy, but if you look at those Venom movies, Sony kind of opted for that dark humor type thing, because they know how ridiculous those things is.
No, Agent Venom is where they should have started, actually.
I think so. I agree with you. I think because you can tie it to some type of reality. You can type not reality, but you can really tie it. You can stretch it.
you can leave the prequel kind of open.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can just say like, alien symbiote, and like, you and me, we know.
Hell,
And then
you know,
everybody else is
hell,
going to be
man,
like,
you
oh
could have
man, I
brought
can't
in.
wait to find out the explanation for that.
Sony didn't ruin Venom. They didn't ruin Venom. I think they played on Lethal Protector and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think you could have brought in Riz Ahmed and the Life Foundation and started with Agent Venom. Sony ruins a lot of shit. I don't think they ruined
Other
Venom.
than Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I don't think they ruined Venom. I think what they did was they leaned heavily into the odd couple type of thing because they had to give, much like I say with Christian Bale as Gore, you do not have an actor like Tom Hardy and have him hidden behind CGI. So you got to find some way to make him interact with that other person, and so you get with that.
Criticism of Gore is a little silly too, because his CGI is really like not wearing clothes and having the tentacles.
Yeah,
that's not integral to the character.
No, not at all. But then if they did that, they would compare him to Ahsoka Tano. So
also true.
I mean, yeah, okay. It was
I don't know if I disagree with them. It was kind of a shit comic book movie.
It was a shit comic book movie. And
Tom Hardy did everything he could.
All right, Elvis. Shut the fuck up.
Christian Bale's garbage as Batman.
He is the worst.
Christian Bale even says Christian Bale's garbage as Batman.
Hey,
he was
Gabe,
like, man, I really kind of phoned it in. I should have fucking
next Saturday, tune in. Hey, so Elvis is really starting to push my buttons because I broke him down.
Gabe, we won't go 2.5 hours next week.
Yeah, I'll break it down to him why Christian Bale was the worst Batman. Well, not even that. Christian Bale, if you go back to what makes Batman, right? If you look at the tagline, the world's greatest detective, and he got honeypotted by Talia al Ghul, and twice in the same movie, he got honeypotted by Selena Kyle, and where he got his back broke, and then he got honeypotted by Talia al Ghul and didn't see the Bane thing coming, and the real Batman would have saw it coming, type of thing. So I would tell you the best Batman depiction from my perspective, as written on the big screen, is probably the Batman with this latest movie with Robert Pattinson, because I love the detective Batman. I like that, and I like that he was learning, right? Christian Bale's Batman, and the same with Michael Keaton's Batman, and everybody was kind of contradictory, right? Batman's big rule, even in Injustice, is we don't kill, right? And
Christian
even
Bale killed so many people.
They both killed.
Michael Keaton killed like twice as many.
Right. They all three killed motherfuckers. There's no way Ben Affleck, the way he was whooping that ass in that scene, wasn't killing a motherfucker. And
what's funny is people got so mad at the Ben Affleck one. They're like, Batman doesn't kill. Nolan is God.
Right.
They're like, dude, Nolan had him kill like 10 people.
He did. And so...
And not even counting sending all the cops in by themselves.
Yep.
Batman wouldn't do that. Batman would be like, no. I got this. I'm Batman.
Because I'm Batman. And the thing is, except for Keaton, where they had the glimpses, right? When he was trying to put together the formula of what made Joker's potion.
Yeah.
And the thing, none of Affleck's Batman, neither Bale's Batman, were their detective skills or their deduction skills were put on Front Street. They all relied on 1980s, early 90s James Bond fucking type tech. Yeah, and so that's why I like Pattinson isn't number one. Keaton's number one for me, but Pattinson is a number two for me because of the way Batman is depicted in there.
I'm still Team Batfleck.
Batfleck is an awesome Dark Knight. I don't call him an awesome Dark Knight.
He's not the world's greatest detective,
but he's an awesome
I
Dark
think
Knight.
he's the best Batman we've seen on screen.
He is the best
as far as like the ninja.
Yeah. And he had a solution for everything, right? Like he's like, Alfred, bring in the big gun, because I just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
So he thought 5 or 6 steps ahead, right? Type of thing. And he was willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. So suck it, Elvis. Christian Bale sucks. But I do think, and it's funny, did you read the article or did you see the article where with test audiences, Christian Bale's gore tested highest of all the Marvel villains?
I did not, but I'm still looking forward to it. It doesn't matter.
I am, man. Hey, as long as they don't do the God Bomb, I'm okay. I'm okay. If they do it,
I won't even make that as a make or break, because it depends on how they do it. Like in the comic, I thought it kind of jumped the shark.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll see what Taika Waititi does.
Yeah, that is fair. But I do like in the trailer, he subtly showed the evolution of gore, right? Like he subtly showed the evolution of gore. And I'm looking forward to Jane Foster Thor. I'm looking forward to Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see how they interact. Yeah. And I do like it. What I don't know if you saw it, back into those groups, they were talking about how Thor sucks and there's no way he should have been depicted the way he is. And I commented to one of the guys, I was like, did you not watch The Dark World? Like Thor 1, you can forgive because they're introducing Thor to the MCU. So you can forgive that. But Thor 2, The Dark World was a horrible movie that they had to pivot. And I think pivoting to a Guardian-esque type of light but heavy tone with what they got going on was probably the best thing for Thor Ragnarok. And then seeing it for Love and Thunder. And if you look at it, he is the only character in the MCU that's gotten 4 movies.
Yep.
So I think single character, right? Not a team or anything, like single characters.
Yeah.
Movies, titled to himself. So I think honestly is there. My gosh. Tell me about it, Jay. Tell me about it.
Eccleston.
Yeah, my gosh, man. That was his.
He's such a great actor too.
And it was wasted in Malekith. And
what made it worse, have been great. Like great character for him to play, great actor.
Yeah, because I think what they try to concentrate is on making Loki kind of having that Loki arc, and it all kind of got convoluted there. Oh my gosh. Probably in modern Doctor Who, he's my favorite Doctor.
Mine's still Matt Smith.
Oh man,
it was Dave Tennant, but Matt Smith won me over. Like during that arc, it was so good, and he was so fun to watch.
Matt Smith was really good. This last Doctor, not the one before the
Capaldi.
Oh, they wrote him bad.
They did. Like the first season was bad, but he became more of a doctor after that in the following seasons. But it just never really hit the same way.
It never hit. Yeah. But hey, Jay, to your thing about Jane Foster. So I am super psyched that I want to know how they put Mjolnir back together, because watching.
I have my theory. I told you that.
Yeah, I'm watching the movie and stuff like that, so I definitely want to see that. And it fits. It goes back to what Lori asked before. Do we have to follow the comics, right? Whether spoiler alert, she has cancer or not, whatever, anything like that. But it fits because Thor essentially, if you look in the trailer, he abandoned his mission of protecting Midgard. So somebody had to step up. And it was Thor. And I like the reverse in the dynamics of making Thor the thirsty one, right? Like the one that's counting down the days, 8 years, whatever months, and however many days they talk to each other. So I'm looking forward to it. But But yeah, man, I think they wasted a great actor in a horrible villain, but I think that movie was just like most other movies, one of those movies that just had way too much stuff trying to cram into that one.
All right, thanks. Time to call it, dude.
Oh yeah, hey, thanks for joining us. Next
At one point, we
Saturday,
were pushing like 10 people, I think.
yeah,
We
next
got 3
Saturday.
still, and I'm glad. I appreciate you guys sticking around this long and hanging out
That's
with
awesome. Next Saturday will be post my day one at Heroes Con, which will be Saturday.
We got some big books to.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have it. If I get the big book before I go, which I think I should, then I'll take it with me to Heroes Con with some other books that we'll pick up and do an unboxing and stuff like that and show my reaction. I'll try to get some footage. Thank you guys for joining us, man. It's been awesome. We're going to try to do this at least once a month, and just drink and talk, just geek shit. And thank you guys for joining us, man.
So we should start calling it geek shit.
Iron Man number 1, Elvis. Which Iron Man number 1?
Oh, he wants you to find him the original.
Oh, I got you, Elvis. I got you.
He'll text you.
I got you, Elvis. All right, thanks. Have a good night, fellas.
Deuces.